California, getting ready for Game 1 of this 3-game series between your Stockton Ports and the hosting Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. And again, an interesting standings in the North and South of the California League as things are getting towards the end with the All-Star break just a few weeks away. And if you missed the final scores in the post-game wrap-up last night, let me update you real quickly. First, we'll start with Inland Empire as they were victorious last night against Lake Elsinore by a final score of 5-3. As Sean Nottingham got his second win of the season, he improves to 2-3. And Eric O'Flattery his first save of the season for the 66ers, who are now in sole possession of first place in the Cal League South at 28-19. 2 games on top of the Lake Elsinore Storm, who are now 25-21. We just talked about a few moments ago, Modesto victorious last night over the Bakersfield Blaze by a final of 6-5. Franklin Morales with the victory. He's 2-4. And the save to Darren Clark, his 4th save of the season. It was High Desert again with a huge win against Rancho Cucamonga last night, and we'll talk more about that as the game progresses, but a heartbreaking loss for Rancho, who had a 7-0 lead at one point of the game. High Desert comes back in convincing fashion. They win 8-7 as C.J. Woodrow gets the win. And High Desert now at 23-24. They are just 5 games back in the South, and really everyone in the thick of things with the exception of the Jethawks, as they are 18-29 after the victory last night against the Stockton Ports 6-5. And finally, in a game that matters a whole lot to us in the North Division, San Jose hangs on to beat Visalia by a final of 7-4 as Jesus Reyna with the victory. He improves to 3-1. Brian Anderson, his 12th save of the season. He has been huge in the bullpen for the Giants this year. Again, the Giants now at 30-15 on the season, 8 games on top of Modesto, and 8.5 games on top of the Stockton Ports. And again, in the South, the 66ers, Storm, Quakes, and Mavericks all within 5 games of each other. And then the Jethawks at 18-29, 10 games out. And they're, at this point, trying to build some momentum as they head towards the second half of the season. And it's just amazing as we finished up the games that we'll be playing at that incredible ballpark, Clear Channel Stadium, where the wind in the desert always gusting out towards left center field. But that's a team that is always going to have big offensive numbers, and we talked about it at great length during that series. I think Lancaster maybe in the second half, if they can improve on their pitching, especially the left-handers. They've got 4 left-handers in the bullpen. If they can improve on their pitching in the second half of the season, it may be a different story for them, but the Jethawks right now playing for respectability. As for the Stockton Ports, they continue to stay hot at the plate, batting close to 300 of their last 10 ball games at a clip of 293. Again, very surprising are the numbers after the loss of Travis Buck, and we can kind of put that to sleep now as he's been gone for close to 2 weeks. And again, a heads up, if you haven't picked up the latest edition of Baseball America, he is the feature man on the cover this month, and deservedly so, as he's continued to hit the cover off the ball in Double-A Midland, and we wish him all the best. But the offense in his absence has done a nice job. Again, Luke Appert is the one that's really heated up here in the road trip, as he is batting .423 in his last 10 ball games, with 11 hits in his last 26 ABs, and in 7 games also has a home run and 2 RBIs. And we've talked about Tommy Everidge. He's cooled down a little bit, still batting at a clip of .361 in his last 10 games, and he's one to look out for in this series as well. As for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, they've been a little more quiet at the plate as of late, batting .257 in their last 10 games. But one bat that has not been quiet has been a smoking bat. That is first baseman Cliff Remley, and Remley batting .464 in his last 10 ball games. He has been the undisputed leader of the offense here for Rancho, and he'll be one to look out for as well. Well, players taking the field here. Looks like we're getting ready for National Anthem at the Epicenter for Game 1 of this 3-game series. Again, a pretty good pitching matchup here tonight, and a lot to look forward to as well. I'm going to take my final breath here on the Dr. Pepper pregame show. And when I come back, starting lineups, first pitch, and a whole lot more, so make sure you stay tuned. Game 1 just a few moments away here in your only station for Ports Baseball all season long. 1420 KSTM.
Since 1950, California Welding Supply has been serving the area with 4 stores conveniently located in Stockton, Lodi, Manteca, and Tracy. California Welding Supply is a local welding supply company with a large stock of inventory, knowledgeable sales staff, authorized service department, on-site gas plant, and a variety of rentals to complete your job. California Welding Supply offers friendly old-time service and response to your request quickly. Call them at 466-8604. That's 466-8604. Or come by and see them under the Center Street Bridge at 817 South Center Street. California Welding Supply looks forward to working with you. Don't wait any longer. Find relief today. If you suffer from headaches, neck, or back pain, go to Quality Chiropractic. Whether you've been injured in the car, at work, or on the field, Dr. Mike Harrison can help you. He specializes in whiplash, laser therapy, and lumbar disc decompression therapy. Dr. Mike doesn't use drugs or surgery. He treats the cause of your pain. Go to qualitychiropractic.net or call 957-9901. Find relief from pain today at Quality Chiropractic, 5637 North Pershing Avenue in Stockton.
Ladies, some dessert today?
Okay.
I highly recommend the Diet Dr. Pepper. The flavor is divine.
That sounds good.
Frankly, I don't know why they even call it a diet.
How is that prepared?
We'll begin by gently pouring the rich, luscious Diet Dr. Pepper over ice cubes until the sweet, refreshing goodness rises to a golden halo of fizz.
Yum. Make it two.
With a flavor this rich and rewarding, there's nothing diet about it. It's not a diet. It's a Diet Dr. Pepper.
You're listening to the Stockton Ports Dr. Pepper pregame show on your only station for Ports baseball all season long. 1420 KSDS.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here live from the epicenter in Rancho, Cucamonga, California, getting ready for, again, game one of this three-game series between your Stockton Ports and the hosting Rancho Cucamonga Quakes of the South Division. And for the Stockton Ports, managed by Todd Steverson here in Game 1, their starting nine looks a little bit like this. Leading things off in right field will be Luke Appert. In the two-hole and at the shortstop position is Cliff Pennington, batting third and in center field. And boy, what a series he had against the Jethawks. That'll be Richie Robnett. In the cleanup spot and at first base is Tommy Everidge. Batting fifth and at third is Myron Leslie. In the sixth-hole and DHing is Haas Pratt. Batting seventh and at second base is Gregorio Petit. Batting eighth and in left field is Luis Perez. And batting ninth and catching for the Stockton Ports will be David Castillo. As for the Quakes defensively, here in game one of this three-game series, in the outfield from left to right, it's Pat Riley in left, Cody Fuller in center, Drew Toussaint in right field. In the infield from left to right, it's Ryan Leahy at third, Sean Rodriguez at short, Nate Sutton at second, Cliff Remley, the big bat to watch in the lineup, he's at first, Michael Collins behind the dish, and the right-hander Jose Arredondo is on the mound. And Arredondo comes in with a win-loss record of 2-2 and ERA of 2.52, now in his ninth appearance of the season, all starts. In 39 and a third innings of work, he has given up a total of 11 earned runs on 36 hits, striking out 17, walking 11. Batters batting .238 against him this season. So it should be interesting to see the right-hander who we talked about in the Dr. Pepper pregame show. Good fastball, gets it upwards of 97. Again, I guess his mental approach to the game has been questioned recently as he had some not-so-pleasant words for the coaching staff and was pulled after just 2 innings in his last start back on the 16th of May and then missed his next start in the rotation because of disciplinary reasons following his actions. So he is back in the rotation here tonight, and we'll see what he is made of. 6-foot, 170-pound right-hander. Talk more about him as the ball game progresses. And again, for the Stockton Ports, getting ready to dig in and lead things off, and why not? Luke Appert comes in batting .263, home runs and 11 RBIs. He has raised his on-base percentage to a team-leading .403. And we talked about him kind of throughout the season. He's a guy that the numbers may not reflect with the exception of the on-base percentage, a guy that does all the little things to get on base and make things happen for the Stockton Ports. He has done everything that manager Todd Steverson has asked of him this year. He has played second base. He's been at short. He's been in right field. Well, tonight he is in right, and he is your leadoff man as he is ready to dig in for the Stockton Ports. Again, 2 nights ago, he was your Solstice Mortgage player of the game in a 4-for-4 with 3 singles, a double, and a walk, reaching base safely in all 5 of his plate appearances. And he comes in here tonight batting for the left side, as always, against the right-hander, Jose Arredondo. As he get ready to dig in, we get ready here for first pitch. Had overcast skies here this afternoon, but still not a drop of rain. And in Rancho, Cucamonga, Zapper digs in. Jose Arredondo, the right-hander, looking in at the signs from his battery mate Michael Collins. Here's the wind in the first pitch. And that's a called strike in the outside corners. The count is 0-1, and we are underway for game 1. First pitch, 7:09 here on the west side. As Arredondo winds and delivers the 0-1. There's a check swing and a fastball. Misses a little bit high and outside, and the count is even Down a ball and a strike apiece. Again, Appert had a home run for his efforts in last night's fourth inning. One of 4 solo home runs for the Stockton Ports in a losing effort in last night's finale. That fastball misses high. 2 balls and a strike to Luke Appert. I think now that the weather has started to heat up here, he's going to go exclusively with the bare hands instead of the batting gloves. Here's the wind and the 2-1 pitch. There's a swing and a foul back to the screen. And the count is even at 2-2 now to Appert. Rancho Cucamonga, of course, California League affiliate of their team just down the road, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And we'll talk about their top prospects throughout the ball game as well. Here's the looking in from the starter Arredondo, and the wind with the 2-2 pitch on the way to Luke Appert. Big swing and a miss. Blew it right past him on the inside corner. And that'll be quick 1 out here in the first as it brings up the shortstop, Cliff Pennington. And again, Cliff Pennington coming into the ballgame here, batting just .155. 1 home run and 10 RBIs, but just activated and put into the starting 9 after a sore hamstring, which he was nursing for close to 2 weeks. But back to full strength, made a couple of good defensive plays in the series against Lancaster. First pitch on the way to Pennington, batting from the left side. There's a called strike at the outside corner, and the count is 0-1 to Cliff Pennington. Arredondo winds and fires. Fastball swung on and chopped foul just to the left of the plate. And the count is quickly 0-2 now to Pennington. Pennington batted in the 2-hole last night, had a quiet 0 for 4. He struck out twice looking, grounded into a double play, and also into a 3 unassisted in 4 official at-bats. Here's the wind and an 0-2 from Arredondo. Check swing at a breaking ball low, and they appeal to the umpire down the third baseline that says he does not go around, and the count 1-2 now to Pennington. On deck, the center fielder, Richie Robnett, and again, what a great series he had against the Jethawks. He was last night's Solstice Mortgage player of the game. Here's the wind and another 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss, went off speed on the outside corner. And Pennington ahead of that one is that'll be out number 2 and strikeout number 2 for the right-hander. So quickly 2 up and 2 down, and again it brings up the center fielder, Richie Robnett. As Robnett digs in, batting .273, 7 home runs and 23 RBIs. In last night's ball game, 2 for 4, 2 runs scored, a double in the 4th, and a solo home run in the 6th. First pitch on the way, takes low and outside. Well, called strike, I should say, on the outside corner as the count is 0-1. And we'll see where the catcher, Michael Collins, sets up. He's on the outside corner. As that one misses low, and the count even at 1-1 now to Richie Robnett. I would have to imagine if Robnett played his home games at Clear Channel Stadium, he would probably enjoy the friendly confines with the way the wind blows from left to right, and he constantly hits the right field. Those balls were soaring out of that park. There's a swing and a drive down the left field line, slicing foul. And out of play, and the count still 1 ball and 2 strikes to Richie Robnett. Played a lot of center field in recent games as well. Conklin was in center last night with Robnett in right field, but Robnett took the duties in center for game 1 of that series. Here's the wind, another 1-2 pitch. Tried the outside corner, missed a bit upstairs, and the count even at 2-2 now on Robnett. On deck is the big first baseman, Tommy Everidge. Once again, nobody on, 2 outs. We have just begun game 1 here in the top half of the first, and still scoreless between the Quakes and the Ports. Here's the 2-2. And a swing and a miss, a good breaking ball in the inside corner, and a flawless first frame here for Jose Arredondo. And for the Stockton Ports, they go in order, all on strikes. No runs, hits, errors, and none left as we head to the bottom half of the first inning. Back in just 60 seconds here on your only station for Ports baseball all season long. 1420 KSTN.
Well, here I am enjoying the great outdoors with the family. The bears, skunks, and bugs. At least our big adventure started on the right foot at Les Schwab. Got the tires and service we needed, even signed up to win an ATV. The only thing Les Schwab didn't have was bug spray. Or
Mom, I had it first.
Kid spray.
Save, scratch, and win during Adventure Days. You can win a Polaris Sportsman ATV, compliments of your local Polaris dealer and your Les Schwab Tire Center.
Imagine that.
you could be the winner of a Polaris Sportsman 500 ATV. And, of course, when you shop at Les Schwab, you're always a winner, starting the moment you drive in. That comes running, eager to please service. In tires and custom wheels, choose from the West's largest selection. Warranty? Honored at over 400 locations. For added performance, ask about siping. Need credit? We've got it. Just ask. Learn more at leschwab.com. Save, scratch, and win. Adventure Days now at Les Schwab.
Officer Adrian Quintero from the California High Patrol would like to remind you, please slow down, allow yourself some time to arrive to your destination, buckle up for your safety, and please don't drink and drive this Memorial Day weekend. On behalf of the California High Patrol and KSTN, enjoy your holiday weekend. Thank you.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Forts with Bo Fulgenetti and Zach B. Rudy on 1420 KSTN.
We're back here in the bottom half of the first inning, again live from Rancho, Cucamonga, still scoreless between the Forts and the Quakes. And on the mound for the Stockton Forts, making the start here in Game 1 again is the left-hander Ryan Ford. And the stats on Ryan Ford coming into the ballgame here. Ford comes in with a win-loss record of 2-3 and ERA of 4.53. We'll talk more about his stats if you missed the Dr. Pepper pregame show in just a moment. But ready to lead things off, here's the second baseman for the Quakes, Nate Sutton. First pitch on the way to Sutton. And the breaking ball with a called strike in the outside corner, 0-1 as we are underway now for the bottom half of the first. Sutton batting .250 with a home run and 8 RBIs. Here's the wind and the 0-1 pitch. And the breaking ball misses outside. A called strike, and the count is 0-2. Go over the starting nine once again for the Quakes after this 0-2 pitch on the way to Sutton. Ford winds and delivers an 0-2 pitch. There's a swing and a bouncing ball to the right side of the infield, playable. Petit has it. He will fire down to first. Quickly, 1 up and 1 down in the first, and it brings up the third baseman, Ryan Leahy. Well, for the Quakes, again from top to bottom, Leahy in the 2-0 at third base. Batting third and at the shortstop position is Sean Rodriguez. In the cleanup spot and catching, Michael Collins. Batting fifth and in left field is Pat Riley. In the 6-0 and right is Drew Toussaint. Batting seventh and at first is Cliff Remley. Batting eighth and DHing Ben Johnson. Again batting ninth and in center field is Cody Fuller, rounding out the starting nine for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. As Ryan Leahy digs in, again batting .226, no home runs and 9 RBIs. First pitch on the way. And the breaking ball misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Ryan Leahy. Still staring at goose eggs here in the bottom half of the first. Game 1 of this 3-game series. To wrap up another homestand, or a road trip, I should say, in the South and come back for a nice long homestand at Banner Island Ballpark. As that pitch a called strike, and the count even at 1-1 now to Ryan Leahy. Got a lot of exciting plans at home in the latter stages of June. Make sure you log on to Stockton Ports for all the updates. There's a swing and a drive to straightaway center field at right at Richie Robnet, who was there to make the catch. And quickly 2 up and 2 down here in the first as it brings up the shortstop, Sean Rodriguez. There's Rodriguez. Digs in here. Sean Rodriguez batting .295, 7 home runs, 28 runs batted in on the season for Rancho. And Rodriguez digging in from the right side. First pitch on the way from Ford and a breaking ball. On the inside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 here to Sean Rodriguez. And here's the wind of the 0-1 pitch. And another breaking ball misses inside, 1-1. Now the Stockton Forts coming out with their gray tops, gray bottoms, customary road unis with the blue tops and the red brims. Rancho with the white tops, white bottoms, black stripes, and black sleeves. There's a swing and a drive to fairly deep right field. Back to the warning track, back to the wall. And that one is out of here. A solo home run off the bat of Sean Rodriguez. And just like that, the Quakes are on the scoreboard as they take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom half of the first. Ball drifted out to deep right field and continued to carry right over the wall. And for Rodriguez, that is now his 8th home run of the season, which leads the team. And the Quakes take a 1-0 lead as that'll bring up the catcher, Michael Collins. That was a familiar sight for the Stockton Forts last night, both for us and against us, as we had 4 solo home runs in the loss ourselves and gave up those 2 home runs in the last inning, including that 2-run inside the park home run from Mark Reynolds, and everything was to right field as well. Just like the home run there from Rodriguez. So 1-0 Quakes. Here's the pitch on the way to Collins. And a called strike in the inside corner as the count is 0-1. Collins batting .316, 3 home runs, and 33 RBIs on the season. Here's the wind of the 0-1 pitch and a breaking ball. This is up and in as the count even at 1-1. I will say that home run not quite as wind-aided as some of the shots that we saw at Clear Channel Stadium. That's certainly a solo blast nonetheless. Again, 1-0 Quakes here in the bottom half of the first. Here's the wind of the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a chop foul right behind the plate, and the count is 1-2 now to Michael Collins. Seems to be a pretty good crowd on hand. It continues to file into the ballpark here. Rancho Cucamonga typically battles Lake Elsinore for the top spot in attendance, and you can see why. A beautiful facility here, the Epicenter. They've been averaging over 3,200 fans a night. Here's the wind of the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a high drive against straightaway center field. This one playable for Richie Robnett. Shades about 2 steps over to his left, makes the catch, puts it away, and that'll retire the side here in the first. But the Quakes, the first to draw blood on the scoreboard here in Game 1. They score 1 run, 1 hit. That's the solo shot from Rodriguez. Also, no on and none left on base as we head to the top half of the second inning. Again, live here from the Epicenter. 1-0 your score. It's the Quakes on top of the Ports. And we're back in just 60 seconds for inning number 2 on 1420 KSTN.
Hello, Uri here. Did you know that there is a delicious new ice-cold Smirnoff Twisted 5? It's wild grape. Wait. New Smirnoff Twisted 5 Wild Grape.
Please drink responsibly. Copyright 2005, the Smirnoff Company, Norwalk, Connecticut. Smirnoff Twisted 5, premium malt beverage, made in the USA.
The Ports love their new home, Banner Island Ballpark, so much that they broke a record from 1947 in the first year. Are you ready for a new home for your teen family? Then call Elaine Martinez with Keller Williams Real Estate. With over 10 years of experience, nobody knows the local market better. Whether you're buying or selling, find out more online at thehouseforyou.com. Elaine Martinez with Keller Williams Real Estate. Real estate is not her job, it's her pleasure.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of the 2006 Stockton Forts, only on 1420 KSTN.
Down to the second inning, back here at the Epicenter in Rancho Cucamonga. 1-0 your score. It's the Quakes on top of the Stockton Forts. Bo Fulgenetti with you as always. And the right-hander Jose Arredondo on the mound for inning number 2. And, well, in his return after missing a start for disciplinary reasons, you probably couldn't hope for more than he got as he struck out the side in the first 1-2-3 after Pennington and Robnett. And here in the second, he'll face 4-5-6 Tommy Everidge, Myron Leslie, and Haas Pratt as Tommy Everidge to lead things off. And Tommy Everidge coming into the ballgame batting .265, home runs, 25 RBIs. Can cool off a little bit so far here in the road trip, but hardened to keep pace with the numbers he was putting up. He is still batting on a clip of .361 in his last 10 games, including 13 hits and 36 at-bats, 2 of which were home runs with 9 RBIs. First pitch on the way. And a breaking ball with a called strike at the outside corner as the count is 0-1 to Tommy Everidge. And Arredondo winds and fires an 0-1 pitch and a fastball a little bit too close for comfort there in the inside corner. And I think it got a piece of Everidge's jersey as he'll take a hit-by-pitch down at the bag at first to start the second. So the Ports with their first base runner of the night, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Myron Leslie. Leslie, a pretty good night last night. He comes in batting .261, 2 home runs and 24 RBIs. In last night's ballgame, Myron Leslie with a home run. And an RBI ground out as well, and a 1-for-4. Here's the stretch from Arredondo, coming set above the letters. First pitch on the way. And a fastball with a called strike in the outside corners. The count is 0-1 here to Myron Leslie. Tommy Everidge, not a huge stolen base threat, but he's got a sizable lead off the bag. At first right now, here's the stretch and the 0-1 pitch. Here's a swing and a high drive slicing down the left field line, and that'll find its way into the seats and out of play. And the count is quickly 0-2 now to the switch-hitting third baseman Myron Leslie. He continued to keep pace with all the great defensive plays that he's made this season while he was in Lancaster for that 3-game series. Arredondo in the stretch, again, set above the letters. Here's a pickoff throw back to the bag at first. And Tommy Everidge getting back in there safely. Everidge just 1 stolen base in 5 attempts this season. Well, I was told before the game here that there'll be an interesting break in the action at some point, I believe, in the 4th inning. There's a swing and a chopper foul first base side and out of play as the count is 0-2 to Leslie. But I was told that the Apprentice is doing a practice shootout here, and it's going to be a 5-minute break in the 4th inning as the TV comes out to shoot some footage, and should be an interesting scene out here at the ballpark tonight. But again, in the 4th inning, there will be a 5-minute break in the action. We'll talk more about that when we get to the 4th inning. Here's the stretch in front of the letters, an 0-2 pitch to Leslie. Here's a swing and a drive down the right field line, but that one is hooking foul, and it'll find its way into some empty bleachers past the right field line and out of play, and the count is 0-2 to Leslie. He has really found that home run swing here lately with 2 home runs in his last 4 games, and again, the one he hit last night to right center field, that was not wind-aided. That thing would have been out in any ballpark in this league for sure. Here's the stretch. And the 0-2 pitch. And that one misses high and outside. 1-2 the count now to Leslie. On deck is the DH, Haas Pratt. Pratt getting back in the starting 9 tonight as he continues to hone his skills as a catcher. He's been catching bullpen each and every day and getting a little better each time. And here's the stretch. And the 1-2 pitch first, a pickoff throw back to the bag at first as Everidge again slides back in there safely. A pleasant evening here at the ballpark. Again, overcast skies, but temperature-wise, nice and cool. Not as breezy as Lancaster. Still don't have the sultry atmosphere that we do have at Banner Island Ballpark with the breeze that comes off the Delta. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss, blew it right past him on the outside corner. Leslie upset with himself. He knew he missed a good pitch there on the outside part of the plate. And that'll be out number 1 and already strikeout number 4 for Arredondo, and that'll bring up the DH, Haas Pratt. Arredondo is lighting up the guns here in the upper 90s, and he is blowing it right past the port batters. So Pratt digs in, batting .306, no home runs, 7 RBIs, taking the role as DH here in Game 1. Here's the stretch and the pitch on the way. And a fastball misses low and inside. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Haas Pratt. And Pratt is DH. He's played a little bit of first base, and he's had a few innings late in ball games back at Banner Island behind the plate, but still working in the bullpen every day to get better as a catcher. Here's the stretch and the 1-0 pitch. There's a swing and a line shot right at the third baseman, Leahy. And he throws back to first, and that'll double off Everidge to end the inning. Cat-like reflexes out of the hot corner for Ryan Leahy, and fired a bullet back to first as Everidge could not slide back in time. And the double play will end the 2nd inning for the Stockton Ports. Stockton nothing doing after the hit by pitch to Everidge. They get no runs, hits, errors, and after the double play, none left on base. As we head to the last of the 2nd here in Game 1, it's 1-0 your score. Quakes on top of the Ports, and we're back in just a few moments for inning number 2 here on 1420 KSTN.
Look inside your Penny Saver. It's in your mailbox every week. Check out the latest and greatest values. They offer coupons for that favorite restaurant you've been craving. You might even dine out on the Penny Saver with their amazing free pays. You gotta move? Grab your Penny Saver. Northern California's best source for savings, coupons, and no questions asked. Free items are just around the corner. The Penny Saver gives you the ability to shop with ease. Their pages are filled with local ads, discount coupons, and don't forget the famous free page, where new items are really free each week. With the Penny Saver, you can sell anything. Your computer, air conditioner, stereo, or microwave oven. If you want tickets to an amusement park or you're ready to buy a car, even if you're searching for a washing machine, for great prices, grab a Penny Saver. You'll have the source for essential goods and services not offered anywhere else right at your fingertips. Grab a Penny Saver today.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Force. Only on 1420 KSTN.
Bottom half of the second inning, back here in Rancho, Cucamonga at the epicenter. Again, 1-0 your score. It's the Quakes on top of the Stockton Force. Ryan Ford on the mound for inning number 2. And here for the Quakes in the bottom half of the second, it will be 5, 6, 7, Pat Riley, Drew Toussaint, and Cliff Remley. Again, that is 5, 6, 7 in the Rancho order here for inning number 2. Is Pat Riley the man to lead things off? He's batting .318, 2 home runs, and 11 RBIs. And no, he is not that Pat Riley. Spells his last name R-E-I-L-L-Y, not R-I-L-E-Y. Batting from the left side against the left-hander. Here's the wind from Ford. First pitch on the way. And the breaking ball with a called strike in the outside corners. The count is 0-1 here to Pat Riley. Ryan Ford, again, the only blemish in the first. The solo home run from Sean Rodriguez to right field. Here's an 0-1 pitch, and that one misses a bit high on the outside corner. And the count even at 1-1 to Riley. And here's the wind and the 1-1 pitch. And the breaking ball misses low and outside, 2-1. Jose Arredondo has been just what the doctor ordered for Rancho so far tonight as he has struck out 4 in 2 innings. And some good defense behind him as well as they pulled the double play to end the frame. There's a swing and a drive to left, backtracking a few steps is Luis Perez. And in front of the warning track there to make the catch. He'll put it away for a 1 down here in the second as it'll bring up the right fielder Drew Toussaint. And Toussaint digs in, batting .224. 6 home runs, 16 RBIs on the season. As Ford looks in, setting up in the outside corner, Castillo. First pitch on the way, and a breaking ball. That one misses a bit low. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Andrew Toussaint. Second on the team in home runs, but again batting just .224 on the young season. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Here's a swing and a line shot to right center field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Robnick quick to cut it off, and then he'll keep Toussaint to a single with a 1-out base hit for the Quakes here in the second. Brings up the first baseman, Cliff Remley. Remley has been as hot as the sun here in the afternoon as he has absolutely been tearing the cover off the ball here in the month of May. Comes in batting .331, which is good for 6 in the California League. He also has 1 home run, 16 RBIs, but he has been on an absolute tear in the past few ball games. It's Captain Cliff, as they call him out here. Last night was 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. He's hitting .469 in his last 32 at-bats with 5 multi-hit games over that streak. There's a breaking ball, misses low and outside. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Cliff Remley. Again, a lefty-on-lefty matchup as Ford looks in to get the signs from David Castillo. Castillo now inching his way on the outside corner. There's a pickoff throw back to the bag at first. And almost got him at first. No, they're going to call a balk on Ryan Ford, and this is not the first time that has happened this season. Ryan Ford, such a great pickoff move to first, but it borders on a balk every time. And, again, he has picked off quite a few base runners, but he's also been called for, I believe now, that'll be his 3rd balk of the season. And that'll put Toussaint in scoring position at second. As the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Cliff Remley. He had him picked off at first, but now Todd Steverson over there arguing the decision here by the first base umpire. And again, just a great move from the lefty, but motioning towards the plate. Some umpires have had different opinions about it, but again, 3rd balk this season called on Ford, and now Quakes with the runner in scoring position as the count 1-0 to Remley. And and the quick conference between the umpire and Todd Steverson has been broken up as Trick heading back to the Stockton Ports dugout. So still 1 ball and no strikes to Cliff Remley with 1 on, 1 down. Again, bottom half of the second inning. If you're just joining us here on 1420, it's a 1-0 score. Rancho on top of the Stockton Ports. Here's the 1-0 pitch and a breaking ball. Misses low and outside. Quickly 2-0 now to Cliff Remley. Ford looks on, and now Castillo inching his way on the outside corner yet again. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And a breaking ball misses low and outside. 3 balls and no strikes to Remley. On deck in the 8 holes, the DH, Ben Johnson. Well, one of the biggest prospects in the Angels farm system is going to be pitching tomorrow night. Already some big fanfare about it. We'll talk about that in a moment. Here's a 3-0 pitch and a called strike at the outside corners. The count 3-1 now to Remley. But I got word this afternoon that Jared Weaver, of course the Long Beach State standout and former first-round pick, brother of Jeff Weaver, going to be pitching tomorrow night in Los Angeles or Anaheim, I should say, for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Is that breaking ball misses low and outside. And the 3-1 pitch is ball 4 as Cliff Remley aboard with a base on balls. Then up with 2 on, 1 down. And it brings up the DH, Ben Johnson. As Johnson digs in. Switch hitter batting .263, 3 home runs and 19 RBIs on the season for Johnson. And already 2 on, 1 down. So the ball does not come back to haunt Ford here at the time being. Of course, it may have been out number 2, but he would have moved into scoring position at second base if he was called safe regardless. So again, 2 on, 1 down as Johnson digs in. Right now, outfielders playing back and straight away. Infielders playing at double play depth. Ford's done a nice job keeping the ball on the ground this season with a lot of ground ball outs. There's a swing and a miss and a curveball in the inside corner. The count is 0-1 to Ben Johnson. Toussaint leading off the bag at second. A very conservative lead off the bag at first for Remley as well. Now time is called. As Johnson steps out of the batter's box. Getting ahead early has been a big key for the Ports here this season. But again, trailing 1-0 and Quakes threatening for more with 2 on and 1 down. Now time called again as Johnson steps out. Ford typically works a little bit quicker than this. Right now, struggling to find that rhythm here in the second inning. And shaking off the signs from Castillo. Now gets what he likes as Castillo sets up on the inside corner. 0-1 pitch and a fastball. That one misses a bit low and in, and the count even at 1-1 to Johnson. I got most of the Stockton Ports staff going to be coming up here for the 3-game series. Not a bad time to spend a weekend out here. Here's the stretch and the 1-1. Big breaking ball swinging a chop foul third base side just left of the bag. And out of play. And the count is 1-2 now to Ben Johnson. Again, Quakes up 1-0 after the solo home run on the first from Sean Rodriguez. The overcast sky is still kind of hovering over the ballpark here, but again, haven't seen any raindrops. And the forecast has 0% chance of rain, which I would have to believe would be pretty accurate. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss. A good breaking ball there on the inside corners. That'll be out number 2. First strike out of the ballgame for Ryan Ford, and with 2 outs, it'll bring up the center fielder, Cody Fuller. Fuller batting .293, no home runs and 14 RBIs on the season. And still 2 on here with 2 out. As Ford looks on. And Castillo once again setting up in the outside corner now. From the belt, here's the first pitch. And a fastball misses a little bit low and away. 1 ball and no strikes to count here to Cody Fuller. Again, this is game 1 of 3-game series. We'll be here tomorrow night and on Sunday afternoon as well before we head back to Banner Island Ballpark with a day off on Monday and starting another homestand on Tuesday. Here's the 1-0. As a breaking ball misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes to count to Cody Fuller. Wind, again, not blowing out as much as it was in Lancaster, but still a slight breeze here at the epicenter. Here's the stretch. Ford taking a peek down the second out from the belt. The 2-0 pitch. And a called strike in the outside corner. 2-1 the count now to Cody Fuller. If you've never been to the epicenter, 2 levels of seating. Go all the way around from first to third. Then some bleacher seating just beyond the bullpen areas, down the right field line and the left field line as well. Both base runners going. There's a swing and a high chopper to the third baseman. Leslie has only one play. He'll go to first. And that'll be the third and final out here of inning number 2. So nice job from Ford pitching out of a jam as they get no runs. 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. We are through 2, and we head to 3 here at Rancho Cucamonga. It's 1-0 your score. Quakes on top of the Forts. And we're back in just a few moments for the third here on 1420 KSDN.
Lucas Business Systems has been delivering results to businesses in California's Central Valley since 1904. Lucas Business Systems personalizes solutions to meet the individual needs of their customers, from the small office to the large multi-user organizations, using the Konica Minolta BizHub product line of multifunctional copiers and printers. They provide your office with advanced document imaging and management solutions. Lucas Business Systems is proud to be the official technology provider of the Stockton Ports and wishes the team the best in Banner Island Ballpark with their affiliate, the Oakland A's.
Slider swinging a high fly ball.
There's just nothing better than kicking back, listening in to the Ports broadcast. Unless, of course, you're listening in while lounging around your very own pool. Stop dreaming. At Blue Lagoon Custom Pool and Spa, we can make it happen. We specialize in both traditional and lagoon-style pools. Our goal is to create a unique backyard environment that will reflect your lifestyle and bring you years of enjoyment. Find out more and see our work online at mybluelagoon.com. Blue Lagoon Custom Pool and Spa, creating backyard paradises.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Force. Only on 1420 KSDN.
All right, folks, we are back here in the top half of the third inning. Again, it's 1-0 your score. The Rancho Cucamonga Quakes on top of the Stockton Forts. Been a good ball game so far for the right-hander, Jose Arredondo, as he has been lights out. And he has struck out 4 in the first 2 innings. Here in inning number 3, it'll be bottom half of the order, 7, 8, 9 for the Ports. Gregorio, Petit, Luis Perez, and David Castillo. Again, line score in the ball game, if you're just joining us, for Rancho, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Stockton Ports. No runs, no hits, and no errors. As Petit digs in, had a solo home run in the ball game yesterday in the 6-5 loss. There's a first pitch fastball misses high and outside. 1 ball and no strikes, and we are underway for the top of the third. Here's the wind from Arredondo in the 1-0 pitch. There's a check swing and a fastball just above the letters as they appeal to the umpire down the first base side. He says he does not go around. The count is quickly 2-0 on the Stockton Ports second baseman. Arredondo is a strikeout artist. He has struck out 9 3 separate times this season. That's a breaking ball, misses inside. 3-0 the count. The most hits that he has allowed in a ball game has been 7. That was against Visalia. So again, the numbers have been good. He's not gone too deep into ball games, however. His longest outing, 6 innings against Bakersfield and against Visalia as well. And there's a breaking ball with a called strike in the outside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike to count to Gregorio Petit. Here's the wind and the 3-1 pitch. That one misses outside, and a walk has been issued to Petit. And we'll start things off here for the third, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Luis Perez. As Perez digs in, batting .243, 1 home run and 9 RBIs on the season. And I'm sure he is just as happy as the other 2 outfielders are in getting out of Lancaster with the gusting winds, making it as difficult as it was to play the outfield. In the game last night for the Stockton Ports, once again, very uncharacteristic for the Ports, who have been very solid defensively, but 5 errors in the game and 2 from Richie Robin alone. But again, when the pop-ups went out to left, right, and center. There's no telling where the ball was going to go next. There's a check swing and a breaking ball, low and away, but they say that he committed to the pitch, and the count is 0-1 here to Luis Perez. Perez exclusively in left field. Again, he's been flip-flopping quite a few parts of the order. He's in the 8-hole here tonight. And on the stretch, set just above the letters, the 0-1 pitch on the way. There's a pickoff throw back to the bag at first. And getting back in there safely is Petit. And the Quakes with just that 1-0 lead after the solo home run from Sean Rodriguez. If you're just joining us, top half of the third. 1 on, no outs. Here's the stretch and another pickoff throw as Petit gingerly gets back to the bag and looks like he awkwardly landed on his foot as he calls time. Again, last night it was Petit who chopped one foul off his left foot and called time in the batter's box for a good 30 seconds as he tried to walk it off and seemed to be okay for the remainder of the ballgame, but kind of gingerly goes back to the bag at first. Again, still 0-1 the count here to Luis Perez. Arredondo in the stretch. And another pickoff throw. They go right back after him. And Petit, a good amount of speed. He does have the 11 stolen bases to lead the team. That's in 18 attempts this season. Pennington was kind of going tit for tat with him, but Pennington, 6 stolen bases in 7 attempts, out of the lineup for 2 weeks, nursing that sore hamstring. So Petit's kind of taking the forefront of the stolen base department. Here's the 0-1. There's a swing and a drive to right, very shallow. Coming in is Tucson, and he is there to make the catch as he'll put it away for out number 1 here in the third. As that'll bring up the catcher, David Castillo. Castillo in the 9-hole. Has been able to provide quite a bit of production at the bottom half of the order for the Ports, batting .255. No home runs, 4 RBIs. He was in the 9-hole in last night's ball game at a 1-for-3 with a very crucial sacrifice bunt and a double in the 5th inning. Done a nice job behind the plate, and he's been the everyday catcher with the injury to Landon Powell, who's been nursing that sore shoulder. In fact, he has caught every game of the road trip so far. Oz Pratt listed as the emergency catcher, but Castillo getting a lot of work behind the dish. Of course, he caught a few games up in AAA as well with Sacramento. Here's the stretch, and stepping off the mound is Arredondo as again he takes a look down there at Petit. Petit drawing quite a bit of attention. Over there at the bag at first. Coming into the game, Arredondo again ranking second in the Cal League with 59 strikeouts, despite the fact he lost his last start to disciplinary issues. Here is the stretch and another pickoff throw back to first as Petit dances back in there safely. The notes here say that he is on pace for 248 strikeouts, which would shatter the franchise record of 190 set by Stephen Shell back in 2004. Again, Quakes are just 4-4 when Arredondo starts, but he has got good stuff. Here's the stretch. And the pitch to Castillo, tries to lay a bunt down and fouls it behind the plate. Base runner was going, but Petit will have to head back to the bag at first, and the count is 0-1. Big thing for Arredondo, the mental approach to the game as it is for so many minor leaguers, especially, you notice typically it's the hard-throwing right-handers typically have a big adjustment in the minor leagues because for so long in their career, they could get by just firing heat past the batters. And, again, he's having success with that here tonight, but they go up to minor league ladder. That tends to change a little bit. Here's the stretch and the 0-1. Now another pickoff throw back to first. I can remember in my tenure in the Florida State League broadcasting a couple of games where the right-hander in the Tigers farm system, now in Detroit, Justin Verlander, was going through growing pains. A guy that could get upwards of 100 to 101 miles per hour consistently, but still is now starting to find success in the Tigers rotation because he's mixing the speeds and his pitches up quite a bit. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's swing and pop up down the first base side. It'll find its way into the seats and out of play. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes to David Castillo. Again, Petit at first, 1 down. Top half of the third inning, 1-0 your score. It's the Quakes on top of the Ports. There's Arredondo in the stretch, and the catcher, Michael Collins, now setting up in the outside corner. Set above the letters, the 0-2 pitch, and a breaking ball. That does not miss by much on the outer half. In fact, that was right where Collins was setting up, but he was a fair off the plate. And the count 1-2 now to Castillo. Here's Arredondo again, looks in. Petit getting a much bigger lead off the bag at first now. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss on a breaking ball in the outside corners. Castillo strikeout. That'll be 2 down. Already strikeout number 5 in the ball game for the right-hander. And with 1 on, 2 outs, sends it back to the top of the Ports lineup, and the right fielder, Luke Appert. Luke's been the king of the on-base percentage for the Ports in the road trip, but he is 0 for 1. He struck out swinging in the first. Appert has drawn 21 walks this season in 34 games. Okay, he does have those 6 doubles as well, which is good for third on the team now. Of course, Travis Buck was leading the show in that department, and all of the minor leagues now, as he's almost at 30 doubles this season, as that breaking ball in the dirt is blocked by the catcher, Michael Collins, and the count 1 ball and no strikes to Luke Appert. Just a few minutes shy of the 8 o'clock hour here on 1420 AM KSDN Stockton. So glad you decided to start your weekend with us. Should be a good series. Again, Rancho, they're not too far out of range from what we've done this season. Just a game over 500 at 24 and 23. Again, very much in the thick of things, as the Cal League South is really anybody's race with the exception of the Jethawks. Jethawks have too many teams to catch at this point. 10 games back with less than a month to go before the All-Star break. Here's the stretch and the pickoff throw back to first. Now they got Petit in a pickle. The throw at the first, now down to second is Rodriguez covering. He will apply the tag. And that is going to retire the side here in inning number 3. As Arredondo, a nice job there catching Petit sleeping. And nothing doing for the Ports in the third. They get no runs, hits, errors, and after the pickoff throw, none less on base as we now head to the last of the third. Here in game 1, still 1-0 your score. It's the Quakes on top of the Ports, and back in just a few moments for the bottom half of the third on 1420 KSDN.
Universal Sounds Entertainment presents the 13th annual Back to Graffiti Concert and Car Show at the Fruit Yard Festival Grounds in Modesto, June 10th from noon to 8 p.m. featuring The Platter. With Jorge Santana. The Marvelettes. Cannibal and the Headhunters. And the Toaster.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
Tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com and all Ticketmaster locations. Also available at the Fruit Yard Restaurant, Tower and Warehouse Records. General tickets are $20 in advance or $25 at the door. Preferred VIP seating tickets are $45 while they last. Sponsored by Centrex Homes, Corona Beer, Black Oak Casino, Coors Brewing Company, Brendan Theaters, and the Valley Views Magazine. It's the 13th annual Back to Graffiti Concert and Car Show at the Fruit Yard, June 10th.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Ports with Bo Fulgenetti and Zach Rudy on 1420 KSTN.
To the last of the third we go. It's 1-0 your score. The Quakes on top of the Ports here in game 1 of this 3-game set. Ryan Ford on the mound for his third inning of work, and he will face top half of the order, 1, 2, 3, Nate Sutton, Ryan Leahy, and Sean Rodriguez. As Sutton to lead things off is 0 for 1. He grounded out to the second baseman, Gregorio Petit, in the first. Good line score here in the young ball game. First for the Quakes, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Stockton Ports. No runs, hits, or errors. They've had a couple of base runners have the Ports, but they've squandered some opportunities as Tommy Everidge, hit by a pitch in the second, was doubled off on a great defensive play by third baseman Ryan Leahy. Then in the third inning, in the top half of this frame, Petit with a walk was later picked off the bag. And the first pitch breaking ball on the outside corner misses a bit low. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Nate Sutton. Here's the whine of the 1-0 pitch. Here's a swing and a broken bat. Chopper right back to the first baseman, Tommy Everidge. And he will make the play himself to first on the 3 unassisted. 1 down here in the third, and it brings up third baseman Ryan Leahy. Leahy digging in, batting .226 with those no home runs and 9 RBIs. 0 for 1, he flew out to the center fielder Richie Robnett in the first. Ford did a nice job pitching out of trouble in the second as he had 2 on, 1 down. He got a strikeout of Johnson and a ground out of Cody Fuller to end the frame. Here's the wind and the first pitch on the way, and a changeup with a called strike in the outside corner. The count is 0-1 to Ryan Leahy. And Ford, a pitcher, relies on changing of speeds and pinpoint location as well. He's done a nice job refining the changeup this season. Here's the 0-1. There's a fastball in the outside corner, and that one misses a bit upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Ryan Leahy. On deck is the shortstop, Sean Rodriguez, and he's been the difference maker so far tonight. And the backdoor breaking ball and a called strike in the outside corners. The count is 1-2 now on Leahy. And it's 1-0 Quakes on top of the porch here in the last of the third. Here's the wind of the 1-2 pitch. And a big swing and a miss. Good breaking ball there in the inside corners. That'll be out number 2 and strikeout number 2 for Ford here tonight. And 2 up and 2 down in the third will bring up the shortstop, Sean Rodriguez. Again, he has been the difference maker. 1 for 1 with a solo home run in the first, and that is the one and only run on the scoreboard so far tonight. And it's to right field, just beyond the scoreboard in right. Outfielder's still playing back and straight away here with 2 outs. Here's the wind in the first pitch. And the breaking ball with a called strike in the inside corners. The count is 0-1. I have rarely seen, and saw it last night at Lancaster with the wind blowing from left to right, a constant outfield shift where the entire outfield shading towards right center field. Here's the 0-1, and the breaking ball misses inside, and the count even at 1-1. Both teams did it with left-handed batters, right-handed batters. No matter who was on the mound, from about the 5th inning on as the winds were gusting, it was a constant shift and a huge gap in left center field. And everyone continued to hit the ball to right just as planned. There's a called strike in the outer half. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Sean Rodriguez. See if Ford can put him away to finish a flawless frame here in the third. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And swinging a foul ball right behind the plate as Castillo unable to hold on to the foul tip and the count. Still 1-2 here to Rodriguez. We'll see if he comes back with something in the outside corner. Right now, Castillo flashing the signs. He is setting up on the inside corner. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a foul ball first base side. That'll slice foul and out of play. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody on, 2 outs. Bottom half of the third. Again, if you're just joining us here on 1420, it's a 1-0 score. Quakes on top of the ports. Ford again looking in, shaking off the signs. Down to 20 likes. In the wind. Here's the 1-2. And a swing and a chop foul. That one bounced up and hit Rodriguez in the chest. And trickles foul down the first base side. Again, still 1-2 the count. On deck in the cleanup spots, the catcher, Michael Collins, who flew out in his first at bat as well. Still 1-2 the count. See if Ford maybe comes back with the curveball here. He is looking in as Castillo again setting up well inside. Here's the 1-2 pitch, a fastball. That one fought off back to the screen. Still 1-2 and a long at bat here for Sean Rodriguez. He is making Ryan Ford work here in inning number 3. Even if he does make this a 1-2-3 inning. Castillo now setting up on the outer half. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a ground ball to the right side, playable there for Petit. He will make the throw down to first in a 1-2-3, nothing doing for Ryan Ford here in inning number 3. As the Quakes go in order, no runs, hits, errors, and none left. We are through 3 as we shift gears now to the 4th. 1-0 your score. It's the Quakes on top of the ports, and we're back in just a few moments here on 1420 KSTN.
Hey fans, Tired of standing in lines at your local public swimming pool? Are the local beaches just too crowded? Then it's time to think about having your own pool installed. Barefoot Pools and owner Gordon Johnson can design and build a custom pool at a price that won't leave you feeling soaked. In fact, we've been building pools of distinction since 1974. Summer won't last forever. Now is the time to call Barefoot Pools for your free estimate. Find us in your yellow pages under swimming pools. Barefoot Pools, the best of summer, right in your backyard. Say, fans, when a ball club is looking to pick up a new player, they search for a proven producer. When you're buying or selling a home, you need a proven producer on your team. Search no further than Home Sweet Home Mortgage and Real Estate. They have a strong knowledge of the market and can help you from start to finish. So for all your real estate and mortgage needs, go with Home Sweet Home Mortgage and Real Estate. Call 209-464-3424 or log on to 209loans.net. Whether you're buying or selling, the name Home Sweet Home says it all.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Force with Bo Fulgenetti and Zach B. Rudy on 1420 KSTN.
We are through three as we head to the top half of the fourth inning here at the Epicenter in Rancho, Cucamonga. Again, it's a 1-0 score. The Quakes on top of the Stockton Force, and for the Force here in inning number 4 to be top half of the order, 1, 2, 3, Luke Appert, Cliff Pennington, and Richie Robnett. Yeah, interesting third inning as Petit walked to lead the inning off, was later picked off the bag in a 1-3-6. So Appert was at the plate, will step back in with a fresh ball strike count. Again, line score here in the ball game. First for the Quakes, 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors for the Stockton Ports. No runs, no hits, and no errors as well. Arredondo looking in. He's been flawless, exception of a walk and a hit by pitch. Here's the first pitch, and a swing and a miss. Threw it right past Appert on the inside corner, and the count is 0-1 to Luke Appert. 5 strikeouts and counting here in the ball game for Arredondo. As he winds and delivers an 0-1 pitch. Swinging a high chopper, right side and playable. Taking on a tough hop there for Nate Sutton. But he makes the routine throw down to first. Quickly 1 up and 1 down in inning number 4. And to bring up the shortstop, Cliff Pennington, who was 0 for 1. He struck out swinging himself in the first. Arredondo has kept the pitch count low, and he is throwing it right past the Stockton Port batters. And again, with the 5 strikeouts, only 2 base runners, the hit by pitch to Everidge in the second, and the walk to Petit in the third. Switch hitting Pennington, digging in from the left side. First pitch on the way. And takes ball 1 to the outside corner. 1-0 the count to Cliff Pennington. We have just crossed the 8 o'clock hour here on the West Coast on 1420 AM, KSTN Stockton. Here's the 1-0. That one swung on and trickles back behind the plate towards the screen. And the count even at 1-1 to Pennington. On deck is center fielder Richie Robnett. Here's the wind and the 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses high and outside. 2-1 the count. Sports, again, we've talked about in the Dr. Pepper pregame show. Good at getting ahead early. Not the case so far tonight. Here's the 2-1. And a swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch there on the inside corner from Arredondo. And the count even at 2-2. And the Ports batters do not look comfortable out there in the batter's box. They have been off-balanced and really haven't had any good swings. Only good swing I can think of. Myron Leslie almost had a home run to right, but it hooked foul. Here's the 2-2, and that one swung on foul back to the screen as Pennington stays alive at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the Stockton Ports still a pretty good road trip as far as putting runs up on the scoreboard. They scored a total of 17 runs in those 3 games in Lancaster. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Check swing, but a called strike 3 in the inside corner. As Pennington will go down looking. Now to quickly be out number 2 here in the 4th. And with 2 up and 2 down, brings up the center fielder Richie Robnett. This will then in his strikeout number 6 on the ball game here for Arredondo as Robnett digs in. He was strikeout victim number 3 in the first as it ended a 1-2-3-0 doing. Here's Arredondo, winds and delivers the pitch on the way. There's a swing at a high fly ball. That one's shallow left center field. Drifting over a few steps is Cody Fuller, and he's there to make the catch. As he will put it away, and that'll retire the side in a 1-2-3-0 doing here in the fourth. That is the second time tonight the Ports have gone down in order. No runs, hits, errors, and none left as we head to the last of the fourth in just 60 seconds. Again, 1-0 your score. It's the Quakes on top of the Ports, and back in just a few moments here on 1420 KSTN.
Are you a child care provider, a parent, or an educator? If so, we might be able to help you. We are Family Resource and Referral Centers, R&R Department. The following services are available: free referrals to licensed child care centers and homes, brochures and handouts on a variety of child development topics, a resource library open daily, access to our on-site subsidized child care staff, die-cut machine area, laminating services, and so much more. Our main office is located at 509 West Weber, and our satellite office is located at 7272 Murray Drive in Stockton. And our new Tracy location is coming soon. Call us at 1-800-526-1555. We're Family Resource and Referral Center's R&R Department, and for the past 27 years, we've been improving the lives of children and families, one family at a time.
Officer Adrian Quintero from the California High Patrol would like to remind you, please slow down, allow yourself some time to arrive to your destination, buckle up for your safety, and please don't drink and drive this Memorial Day weekend. On behalf of the California High Patrol and KSTN, enjoy your holiday weekend. Thank you.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Ports, only on 1420 KSTN.
Last of the fourth, here in Game 1. It's 1-0 your score. The Rancho Cucamonga Quakes on top of the Stockton Ports. In Bo Fulgenetti broadcasting live from the epicenter here in Rancho Cucamonga. Right Ford pitching a pretty good ball game. He's been overshadowed a little bit here tonight by Jose Arredondo, again, who has not given up a hit now in 4 innings on the mound. In fact, he has struck out 6. But the Quakes have been held relatively in check by Ryan Ford, who sent them down in order in the third. So we'll see if they can keep it going here in inning number 4. It'll be 4, 5, 6 to start things off. Michael Collins, Pat Riley, and Drew Tucson. Here's the first pitch on the way to Collins. As that one misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes to count to the Quakes catcher. It was 0 for 1. He flew out to center fielder Richie Robnett in the first. There's Ryan Ford gazing in at his battery mate, David Castillo, who sets up on the outside corner. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a swing and a chop foul third base side. And out of play is the count even at 1-1. Well, the line score hasn't changed a whole bunch for the Quakes. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. For the Stockton Ports, no runs, hits, 4 errors. For the Quakes, there are only 2 hits. The solo home run from Rodriguez in the first and the single from Tucson in the second. Ford winds and delivers a 1-1. There's a swing and a miss and a breaking ball in the outside corner. The count is 1-2 to Michael Collins. On deck is the left fielder, Pat Riley, which I'm sure raises some eyebrows, but not that Pat Riley. He is coaching in the Eastern Conference Finals of the playoffs, and I'm sure Miami Heat fans hoping that he will get them to the promised land. Here's the wind and the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a chopper, third base side, backhanded nicely there by Leslie. And a strong throw and a good stretch there at first from Everidge, and that'll be 1 down on the 5-3. Here in inning number 4, and it'll bring up the left fielder, Pat Riley, who was 0 for 1. He flew out to the left fielder, Luis Perez, in the second. Not much gets past Myron Leslie down that third base line. It's amazing how far he plays off the line and yet still is able to make plays behind the bag at third. And that was relatively a routine play for him, but he has made so many plays that would be out of the question for several third basemen in this league. As Riley now digs in for the left side. Another lefty-on-lefty matchup as Ford kicks and fires. First pitch on the way is a big curveball. And that one misses a little bit low and inside. 1 ball and no strikes to count here to Pat Riley. On deck, the right fielder, Drew Tucson. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled back to the screen, and the count even at 1-1. the exception of those two hits, the only other base runner for the Quakes really has been the first baseman Cliff Remley, who drew a walk in the second. It's been all pitching for both sides here tonight. Here's the 1-1 pitch, another curveball. That one misses low in the count. 2 balls and 1 strike to Patrick Riley. Again, 1 down, nobody on. Last of the 4th. And if you're just joining us here in Game 1 on 1420, it is a 1-0 score. The Quakes on top of the Ports. Here's the 2-1 from Ford. There's a swing and a bouncing ball, first base side. Everidge will underhand to Ford, covering the bag on the 3-1, as that'll be quickly 2 up and 2 down here in the 4th. And it'll bring up the right fielder, Drew Tucson, who singled in his first at bat in the second. Good patience there from Everidge, waiting behind the bag for the ground ball. Looked like he was going to try to take it himself the first on the 3 unassisted, but wisely waited for the pitcher Ryan Ford to get there. So 2 outs. Tucson digs in. Again, coming into the game batting just .224. Here's the wind and the pitch. And a swing and a miss, a good breaking ball in the outside corner. The count 0-1 to Drew Tucson. And Tucson is 6'2", 175-pound outfielder from Los Angeles. Just down the road, a 13th selection back in 2004. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And a breaking ball, the called strike in the inside corner. The count is 0-2 now to Tucson. Spent last year in Cedar Rapids, as most of the Quakes this season have. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Perfectly placed there on the outside corners. That'll retire the side here in inning number 4. And for the Quakes, they go in order. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. Now 3 strikeouts in the ballgame for Ford. And we are now through 4 frames of baseball here at the epicenter. It's 1-0 your score. And it's the Quakes on top of the Ports back in a few moments for inning number 5. And again, we'll have a quick break in the action here, as there's going to be a shooting of The Apprentice. They're having a dry run, and it's going to be a 5-minute break in the action. So we'll take a real quick 90-second breather and come back for more here of Stockton Ports baseball, only on 1420 KSTN.
If the gang is coming over for the big game, they're going to be hungry. You better make sure you have plenty of great pizza on hand. You'd better call Best Pizza. At Best Pizza, every pizza is made with the finest and freshest ingredients and delivered to you hot, delicious, and ready to enjoy. From pre-game functions to post-game celebrations, nothing hits the spot better than a pizza from Best Pizza. For delivery, call 957-8822 or dine in at 2339 West Hammer Lane. Best Pizza, our name says it all.
Are you buying or selling a home? Then give us a call. We're M&R Homes and Loans, and we can help you every step of the way. If you're buying, we'll listen to your needs and desires and help you find the home of your dreams. If you're selling, our real estate expertise and many effective marketing programs will give you the exposure and edge to sell your home quickly for top dollar. Find out more online at mnrhomesandloans.com. That's M&R Homes and Loans. Extensive experience, local expertise. Give us a call toll-free at 1-888-239-1771. That's 888-239-1771.
For good times and great food, come to the Graduate Family Restaurant and Bar in Stockton. You'll love the casual family atmosphere. There's tons of video games for the kids, internet, golf, and your favorite music playing on the jukebox. And the Graduate is a great place to have a party. They have a full menu with items for every taste bud. Hot wings, burgers, awesome pizza, and even salads. So stop by for lunch or dinner. The Graduate Family Restaurant and Bar, 2207 Country Club Boulevard, just east of I-5.
Are you a child care provider, a parent, or an educator? If so, we might be able to help you. We are Family Resource and Referral Centers, R&R Department. The following services are available: free referrals to licensed child care centers and homes, brochures and handouts on a variety of child development topics, a resource library open daily, access to our on-site subsidized child care staff, die-cut machine area, laminating services, and so much more. Our main office is located at 509 West Weber, and our satellite office is located at 7272 Murray Drive in Stockton. And our new Tracy location is coming soon. Call us at 1-800-526-1555. We're Family Resource and Referral Center's R&R Department, and for the past 27 years, we've been improving the lives of children and families, one family at a time.
Since Since 1950, California Welding Supply has been serving the area with 4 stores conveniently located in Stockton, Lodi, Manteca, and Tracy. California Welding Supply is a local welding supply company with a large stock of inventory, knowledgeable sales staff, authorized service department, on-site gas plant, and a variety of rentals to complete your job. California Welding Supply offers friendly old-time service in response to your request. Quickly, call them at 466-8604. That's 466-8604. Or come by and see them under the Center Street Bridge at 817 South Center Street. California Welding Supply looks forward to working with you.
You are listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Forts. Only on 1420 KSTS.
All right, folks, we are back. Or kind of. Here in the top of the 5th inning. It's interesting break in the action here. We got about a minute and, I think, 10 seconds before they clear the field of play. But right now, again, the famous show that you've probably seen a few times on television, The Apprentice, out here shooting a test run for their show. They have got, the best way I can explain it, a truck on the field with 6 cheerleaders and a couple of other things, a couple of 4-wheelers out there on the field with looks like a torpedo out there. I'm not even going to try and explain this to you, but shooting a segment for The Apprentice, and they've got a few more seconds, actually got about 40 seconds before they clean up and exit stage left, but there is actually a ball game going on tonight, and here in the game, it's 1-0 your score. Rancho on top of the Stockton Forts. It's really been all pitching so far here tonight. As for Stockton, a nice job so far for Ryan Ford. Really the only blemish to his ledger has been a solo home run from Sean Rodriguez. That was back in the 1st inning. Also gave up a single and a walk in the 2nd to Tucson and Remley. But for the Stockton Forts, they have not been able to flip a bat on the baseball right now against Arredondo as Tommy Everidge was hit by a pitch in the 2nd, and Petit walked in the 3rd. And, wow. Right here, as you probably can hear in the background, some interesting things going on there. Test launching these, like, human-sized bottle rockets to a target behind the bag at second. And, I've seen quite a few things at a minor league ballpark that this would certainly be a first for me. I don't know if they're going to be testing this again, but yes, if you were just joining us, we are having a break in the action here in the top of the 5th inning, live from the epicenter, Rancho Cucamonga, as the famous show The Apprentice out here doing a test run for one of their contests, and it looks like they are shooting human-sized bottle rockets at targets. So it looks like they're wheeling the targets out, and we are ready to get back and underway here for the 5th inning. And hopefully the Ports can get something started offensively here in the 5th. It will be 4, 5, 6 to start things off. Tommy Everidge, Myron Leslie, and Haas Pratt. As the players take the field, so do the grounds crews. They're going to try to clean up a slight mess out there. But the story so far tonight, again, if you're just joining us, Jose Arredondo, he has struck out 6 in 4 innings. He's allowed just 2 base runners, no hits. In the Ports, I cannot remember this season where they've gone 4 full innings without getting a base hit, so hopefully they can break that streak again here tonight. And the Stockton Ports, if we kind of dial back here, as the road trip started in Modesto, really putting up some big numbers offensively since this whole road trip started. In fact, the one game that is kind of an exception to that rule would have to be last night. We only put up 5 runs in the 6-5 loss, but other than that, Stockton putting up at least 6 runs in every single outing that we have had, including the 2 games in Modesto, then the 3rd game obviously rained out, but 2 games as well in Lancaster, and then last night game 3. But 17 runs in 3 games. The offense has been there. The pitching has been touch and go. It's been pretty good at times. Bullpen, well, we can say the back end of the pen has been very dependable. You look at, obviously, the closer for the Stockton Ports, Mike Mitchell, and he has been stellar in his save opportunities. He's only blown 1 save this season. And Jeff Coleman, he has done a nice job. Last night, again, was caught with the blown save and the loss, as he came in with a 5-3 late in the final frame. But just a heartbreaking way to lose a game. If you didn't tune in last night to the finale in Lancaster, Stockton with a 2-run lead with 2 outs and 2 strikes on Mark Reynolds, who went to right center field and hit a inside-the-park 2-run home run that tied things up. And then again, just 1 batter later, it was the first baseman, Cesar Nicholas, with the solo home run that scraped the wall in right center, and that was the difference maker in the 6-5 win for the Jethawks. But again, these are two teams fighting a tough loss last night as the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, they had no business losing the game they lost last night. They were leading 7-0 after 6 innings, and the Quakes proceeded to walk 6 batters and commit 4 errors over the course of the final 3 frames as High Desert scored the final 8 runs of the game to win 8-7 and salvage a split of their 4-game series as well. So two teams that are really reeling off tough losses. Well, looks like the field's cleaned up, and the crew from the show has exited stage left. So we are now ready for inning number 5. Again, it's Tommy Everidge to lead things off. Everidge hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance, batting .265 home runs, 25 RBIs. First pitch on the way, swung on and popped up, and that one over the screen and on the rooftop and out of play. And the count is 0-1 to Tommy Everidge. Very pleasant evening here in Rancho Cucamonga. Pretty good crowd on hand, probably close to 4,000 here tonight. Here's the wind in the 0-1, and a swing and a miss, and a good breaking ball in the outside corner. The count is 0-2 now to Tommy Everidge. A lot of good baseball in these neck of the woods. Of course, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim and Dodger Stadium, where the Dodgers play, both pretty close proximity. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss. Good breaking ball up and in, and Everidge went chasing right after it. That'll be out number 1, and strike out number 7 for Arredondo as that brings up third baseman Myron Leslie. 2 times this season, Arredondo with a season-high 9 strikeouts, but here tonight 7 already as we are only 1 out into the 5th inning. As Leslie digs in, switch hitter, batting from the left side. As Arredondo kicks and fires, first pitch on the way, and a breaking ball. That one misses inside. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Myron Leslie. Again, the home run that he had last night would be one that you'd file away in the no doubt about it category. There's a swing and a drive to right. This one back to the warning track, and Toussaint there to make the catch as he'll put it away. 2 up and 2 down here in the 5th as it brings up the DH, Haas Pratt. You almost get a little trigger happy after watching the balls fly out the way they did. And I can tell you right now, the ball that Myron Leslie just hit would have been a home run at Clear Channel Stadium last night, the way the wind was blowing from left to right. But that ball just dies out there tonight in front of the warning track, and Toussaint had it played perfectly. So 2 up and 2 down as that'll bring up the DH, Haas Pratt. And the pitch on the way is that one, a called strike on the inside corner. The count is 0-1. Well, the Apprentice, they've been promoting the energy drink tonight called Sweet Success, and I got one up here in the booth, and I'm going to try this during the half-inning break. Hopefully it was worth the 5-minute break in the action and the absolute flop of the torpedo or whatever you call that was shooting towards the target. And it's the count even at 1-1. Here's the wind of the 1-1 pitch. And a swing and a miss, and it's the count 1-2 now to Haas Pratt. Jim Pratt lined out into that 5-3 double play, had a shot right at Ryan Leahy. Made the catch and then fired across the diamond in a perfect 5-3 DP to end the 2nd inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way, and a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Haas Pratt goes down looking as that'll end the inning here in the 5th. That is strikeout number 8 for Arredondo. And that'll retire the side in order for the 3rd time tonight. For the Stockton Ports, no run, 10 errors, and none left as we head to the last of the 5th here in Game 1. It's 1-0 Quakes, and we're back in just a few moments for the bottom half of the 5th inning here on 1420 KSTN.
Life can be full of risks. If you're self-employed or an individual, you already know that you take risks every day. But one thing you shouldn't take risk with is your family's health insurance. If you don't have health insurance, call the Mega Life and Health Insurance Company to get it now. If you have health insurance, call Mega and see if they can give you better coverage at a better rate. Mega helps tons of small business owners and individuals. You can reach Mega 24 hours a day at 888-228-5499. That number again is 888-228-5499. Don't take risks with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. Without the right health insurance plan, you could be in trouble. For affordable health insurance, call 888-228-5499. That number again is 888-228-5499. 888-478-5499. Home office, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Not available in all states, and benefits may vary by state.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Force. Only on 1420 KSDS.
To the last of the fifth we go. It's a 1-0 score. It's been all pitching here tonight for both sides. It's Ryan Ford of the mound for inning number 5. And again, he has had a great outing. It's been kind of overshadowed here by Jose Arredondo, who has yet to give up a hit after 5 innings on the mound. In fact, he has struck out 8. And he has only faced he has faced the minimum, I should say, as they were able to get a double play and also pick Petit off the bag in the third. So he has faced the minimum here tonight as Arredondo. So, bottom half of the fifth, 1-0 Quakes. Ryan Ford, who has retired the last 8 in order himself, will face Cliff Remley to lead things off. Here's the first pitch on the way to Remley, showing bunt, and he punts it foul, third base side. And out of play, as the count is 0-1 here to Cliff Remley. Line score has not changed since the second inning. It's 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Quakes. No runs, no hits, and no errors for the Stockton Forts. A lefty-on-lefty matchup here. This Ford facing the white-hot Remley right now. Remley, again, batting 6th in the league at a mark of .331. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And a breaking ball misses low and outside. That's the count even at 1-1. Kind of unusual to see a batter that's been that hot this season batting in the 7-hole, but again, Quakes getting a lot of production at the bottom half of that order with Remley, Johnson, and Fuller. Here's a 1-1 pitch, and that one misses low. 2-1 the count here to Cliff Remley. Ford looks in and gets the signs from the catcher. Castillo sets up on the outside corner. Here's the 1 and the 2-1 pitch. There's a swing and a high chopper to the right side. Taking on 1 hop there from Petit. Plenty of time to make the throw in does. Quickly 1 up and 1 down here in the fifth, and that'll bring up the DH, Ben Johnson. Johnson is 0 for 1. He struck out swinging in the second. Right now, Ryan Ford with 2 strikeouts, or I should say 3 strikeouts in the ball game. He's had 1 in the second, third, and fourth. Got some good defense behind him here tonight. Here's the wind of the first pitch on the way to Johnson. Here's a swing and a well-hit ball to left center field, and moving about 5 or 6 steps over to his left to make the catch is Luis Perez as he cuts it off in left center, and that'll put it away quickly. 2 up and 2 down. And it'll bring up the center fielder, Cody Fuller. Fuller digs in. He is 0 for 1. He is grounded out to third baseman Myron Leslie in the second. This first at bat. Having a shade under 300 at 293. Ford looking in. Castillo sets up outside. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a drive down the right field line. That'll be a fair ball as it rolls into the corner. Fuller rounding first. He'll head for 2, possibly 3. He will slam on the brakes, and here comes the relay throw. It's cut off by Petit. So that'll be a 2-out stand-up double for Cody Fuller. And that is just the second extra base hit of the ball game here for the Quakes with 2 outs here in the fifth. Keeps the inning alive and sends it back to the top of the order, and second baseman Nate Sutton. As Sutton digs in, he is 0 for 2. He has grounded out twice, once in the first and once in the third. Pretty well hit ball there down the line from Fuller, and that did not stay fair by much. It caught some chalk as it rolled in down the corner. And Sutton digs in from the left side, so another lefty-on-lefty matchup here. And here is the stretch, and from the belt. Pitch on the way, and a breaking ball misses low and outside. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Nate Sutton. And Sutton is grounded out first to Petit, and then the 3 unassisted to Everidge in the third. And here's the stretch. Coming set below the belt now is Ford. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Check swing at a breaking ball, but a called strike in the outside corner, and the count even at 1-1. Well, the dimensions here at the epicenter. Again, you're looking at 330 down both lines, 400 to dead center field. And it's a slight wind here tonight, really not gusting as much as we've seen lately. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And a breaking ball. This is low and outside. 2-1 the count. And taking a look right here. Well, they do have the radar gun up and going. That last pitch coming in at 85 miles per hour for Ryan Ford. Here's the stretch set at the belt. The 2-1 pitch. And a breaking ball with a called strike in the inside corners. The count is even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 on, 2 outs. Again, last of the 5th here in Game 1. Still a pretty good ball game. 1-0 your score. Quakes on top of the porch, and we'll see if Ryan Ford can put Sutton away right here as he looks in. And the catcher, David Castillo, inching his way on the outside corner. 2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. A good breaking ball low and away. And he went chasing right after it, went fishing, and came up with an empty hook. And that'll retire the side here in the 5th for the Quakes. Nothing doing after the 2-out stand-up double to Cody Fuller. They get no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. And now we are through 5, so it's official rain or shine as we head to the 6th. Again, 1-0 your score. It's Rancho on top of Stockton, and we're back in just a few moments for the 6th inning here on 1420 KSDN.
You can't play pro ball without first having a solid foundation of skills. The same can be said in the construction industry. That's why homeowners and contractors throughout the area rely on Jerry Joy Concrete. They specialize in all aspects of concrete work, from removal to installation. Whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial, for pride and workmanship in every job, give them a call. 462-1481. That's 462-1481. Jerry Joy Concrete, locally owned and operated since 1990.
Playing through or ignoring a minor injury can lead to something much worse. If left untreated, it can cause chronic pain-related problems. So get a complete exam and thorough consultation from the Stockton Injury Center. They specialize in auto accident, work-related, and sports injury treatment and rehabilitation. And they accept most insurance plans. So before a minor injury sidelines you, call for an appointment at 209-952-8851. That's the Stockton Injury Center for complete spinal care and rehabilitation.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of the 2006 Stockton Ports with Bo Fulgenetti and Zach Beirudi on 1420 KSTN.
Okay, folks, we are back as we are now through 5, and we head to the top half of the 6th inning. It's 1-0 your score. And it's the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes on top of the Stockton Ports. And on the mound here for the top half of the 6th, of course, Jose Arredondo. And Arredondo has done a fabulous job here tonight as he has struck out 8 batters through 5. And here in the 6th, it'll be bottom half of the order, 7, 8, 9, Gregorio, Petit, Luis Perez, and David Castillo. As Petit to lead things off, he walked in the 3rd. In fact, he is one of just 2 base runners on the night for the Stockton Ports. And he was picked off the bag in a 1-3-6 that ended the inning for the Stockton Ports. Here's the first pitch on the way. And a breaking ball, like a slider. This is on the outside corner, a bit upstairs, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Gregorio Petit. Here's the wind of the 1-0 pitch. Here's a swing and a high pop-up, slicing foul down the first base side. Racing over there is Remley, and he's going to run out of real estate as that bounces out of play. And the count even at 1-1 now to Gregorio Petit. Line score here in the game for Rancho, 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. And for the Stockton Ports, no runs, no hits, and no errors. And Arredondo again back on the mound, looking in to get the signs from Michael Collins, who sets up outside. Here's the 1-1. And the fastball misses up and in. 2 balls and a strike to count to Petit. That pitch at 87 miles per hour. I'll keep my eye on the radar here again. He gets it upwards of 97, and whatever he's been doing has been working tonight. And that fastball up there at 88. And the count 3-1 now to Petit. The Ports batters have been off-balanced all night. A lot of changing of speeds, and he's been able to come right in the kitchen of several of these Ports batters and just blow their barn doors in. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and a swing and a miss. Blew past him right there, a bit upstairs as well. That one above the letters for Petit, and the count is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes on the Ports second baseman. Here's Arredondo. Getting the signs. Now winds and delivers a 3-2 payoff pitch. Swung on, popped up. This one right side and playable. It's in foul territory. Remley, plenty of room over there, makes the catch. He'll put it away. One down here in the sixth. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Luis Perez. Man, Ports cannot buy a base hit here tonight. They have never gone and out into the sixth inning this season without a hit. But that's the case here tonight with one down. Brings up the left fielder, Luis Perez. It was 0 for 1. He flew out to the right fielder, Drew Toussaint, in the third. Line from Arredondo, pitch on the way, and there's a check swing at a breaking ball inside. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Luis Perez. And the right-hander again gazes in, now winds and fires a 1-0 pitch. And the breaking ball misses low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes to count to Luis Perez. On deck of the 9 holes, the catcher, David Castillo. Here's the wind in the 2-0. Here's a swing and a drive deep to left field. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is foul. Not by much. Not by much, and that was a well-hit ball that had solo shot written all over it, but just to the left of the foul pole and out of play. And the count is 2-1 now to Perez. Of course, Myron Leslie had a would-be home run to right field as that one just went foul and out of play, but close but no cigar. And again, 2-1 as he digs back in. Arredondo back in the wind. Here's the 2-1 from the right-hander. That one misses outside. 3-1 the count. A lot of late-breaking action. That one's still coming in at 91 miles per hour. Here's the wind, the 3-1 pitch. There's a swing, another high fly ball drifting out towards left center. This one is playable, though, for Pat Riley in left, and he'll make the catch. Puts it away. 2 up and 2 down here in the sixth. And that'll bring up the catcher, Castillo. Again, 0 for 1. He struck out swinging in the third. Arredondo almost completely unblemished. Again, the only 2 base runners of the night for the Ports. A hit by pitch to Tommy Everidge in the second, and a walk to Gregorio Petit in the third. And that's been pretty much it. Still no hits for the Ports. Now with 2 outs here in inning number 6. There's Arredondo once again on the mound, and he has been in control, getting the signs from Collins, who sets up outside. Here's the wind and the first pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss. Pull it right past him on the inside corner. And the count is 0-1 to Castillo. And maybe the success for him tonight has been the changing of speeds. That one at 92, and taking a look at the scoreboard, he has been in the mid-80s, high 80s, low 90s, mid-90s, all over the place, and Ports have not been able to catch up. There's a slider low and away that misses. And it's the count even at 1-1 now to Castillo. Still 1-0 Quakes. If you're just joining us here on 1420. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, popped up, slicing foul, first base side. And will head into the concourse area and out of play. And the Ports again down to their final strike here in the inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes, nobody on, 2 outs. We're in the top half of the 6th inning here in Game 1 of this 3-game series, live from the epicenter in Rancho, Cucamonga. And Arredondo in the middle of the wind. His time is called, and Castillo quickly stepping out. Craziest thing is that right now Arredondo has still faced the minimum, as they were able to get a double play in the second and pick Petit off the bag in the third inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Here's a swing and a drive, straightaway center field, fairly deep. Fuller backtracking near the warning track. There to make the catch. He will put it away, and again that'll retire the side for the 4th time tonight against the Stockton Ports. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We head to the last of the 6th here in Game 1. It's 1-0 your score. And it's the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes on top of the Stockton Ports back in just a few moments for the last of the 6th here on 1420 KSTN.
Cracked windshield? Low Price Auto Glass will take care of you. A few questions are always asked when customers bring their auto in.
Will my insurance pay for it? Is there a warranty? Do I have to make an appointment?
There's yes to all these questions at Low Price Auto Glass. Call 948-4975. Professional work on new and used windshields. You get a 1-year free chip repair on new installed windshields and a lifetime warranty on labor. So Low Price Auto Glass will take care of you. Stop in today. 3988 South Highway 99 in Stockton on East Frontage Road near Pick and Pull.
Are you searching for delicious, traditional Mexican food? Search no more. Nana's is a place with 2 locations to serve you. Nana's Cafe at 1064 East Waterloo Road and Nana's Restaurant at 2208 South B Street in Stockton. Relax in a pleasant atmosphere and enjoy their friendly service. For lunch or dinner, select from Nana's extended menu with many of your favorite Mexican dishes, from entrees to combinations. Nana's Cafe, 1064 East Waterloo Road, and Nana's Restaurant, 2208 South B Street. Visit today.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of the 2006 Stockton Ports with Bo Fulgenetti and Zach Rudy on 1420 KSTN.
We shift gears now to the last of the 6th. And again, right now it is, well, it's anybody's ball game, but so far it's Jose Arredondo's ball game. It's 1-0 Quakes on top of the Stockton Ports. Rancho with 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and for the Ports, no runs, no hits, and no errors as Arredondo has faced the minimum 18 batters after 6 innings. Again, 2 base runners have reached, 1 on a hit by pitch and 1 on a walk, but both those base runners have been retired. And just been a really frustrating evening for the Ports batters, and really kind of overshadowed a pretty good performance tonight so far from Ryan Ford. And Ryan Leahy to lead things off here in the 6th. Again, it'll be 2-3-4 for the Quakes. Leahy, Rodriguez, and Michael Collins. As Leahy leads things off, he is 0 for 2. He has flown out and struck out in 2 at-bats. As Ryan Ford gazes in at the catcher, David Castillo. First pitch on the way is a breaking ball. And it misses on the outside corner. 1 ball and no strikes to count here to Ryan Leahy. Ford is 3 strikeouts on the night. Only giving up 3 hits, a solo home run, a single, and a double. Here's the 1-0. Showing bunt there is Leahy as he pulls back and misses outside. And the count 2-0 now on the Quakes' third baseman. Again, both teams trying to rebound from a very, very tough loss for both sides. Ports definitely should have won, winning 5-3 with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the 9th, and Quakes with a 7-0 lead after 5 innings yesterday, losing the High Desert as well. That pitch a called strike in the outside corner, and the count is 2-1 to Ryan Leahy. As Ford winds and delivers a 2-1 pitch. And a breaking ball with a called strike in the inside corner. The count even at 2-2 now to Leahy. On deck is the shortstop, Sean Rodriguez. And again, he has been the difference maker tonight with a solo home run and has accounted for the only run for either side. Still 2-2 the count as time is called, and Leahy stepping out of the batter's box. Now digs right back in. Here's the wind and the 2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Good curveball there in the inside corner. Drops right off the table as Leahy is the now 4th strikeout victim of the night at the hands of Ryan Ford. And then to bring up the shortstop, Sean Rodriguez. Again, 1 for 2, the solo home run in the first. And that is the only blemish on the scoreboard for either side. And you think back to last night, again, the ace of the staff, Mike Matson, on the mound, and unfortunate that he did not get the decision, as he pitched brilliantly, did Matson in last night's ball game. And the breaking ball misses outside, and the count 1 ball and no strike. Just 1 earned run and 6+ innings of work for Matson as he got the no decision. And you'd hate for Ford to get the no decision or the loss the way he's pitching right now as well. Lefty in the wind, the 1-0 pitch to Rodriguez. That one right down the chute for a called strike, and the count even at 1-1. And Rodriguez with 7 home runs. 7th, the solo shot on the first. Here's the 1-1 pitch. check swing at a breaking ball in the outside corner. They say that he went around as they appeal to the umpire down the first baseline. And the count 1-2 now to Rodriguez. Now time is called. Stepping out of the batter's box is Rodriguez as he digs right back in. Ford's been real nasty with the deuce here tonight. We'll see if he tries that with the 1-2 pitch. Here it is. And he goes outside with a fastball and misses as the count even at 2-2. Ford has also done a nice job mixing up speeds. He has topped out at about 88 tonight, but he has been from the 81 to 88 range, much like the scouting report that we talked about on the Dr. Pepper pregame show. And he is on both sides of the plate with several pitches. Here's the 2-2. Here's a swing and a drive down the right field line. That one is slicing, foul and out of play. And it certainly was deep enough to be another home run for Rodriguez, but again, just to the right of the foul pole. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes on the Quakes shortstop here in Game 1. As time is called, and the catcher Castillo out there talking with Ford right now. Both bullpens have been quiet as a mouse tonight. No activity in either pen. Still 2-2, and here's the wind and the 2-2 pitch. Check swing at a breaking ball that misses inside. They appeal to the umpire again down the first baseline that says he held up. And the count running full at 3-2 to Sean Rodriguez. On deck is the catcher Michael Collins. Here's the one and the payoff pitch. And it looks like it got a piece of Rodriguez there on the back of the leg, and that'll be a hit by pitch that puts him on the bag. If you're going to hit a batter on a full count pitch, not a bad way to do it. He would have reached base anyway, but certainly not intentional there from Ryan Ford, as that'll be a one-out base runner. And bringing up the aforementioned catcher Collins, who is 0 for 2. He has flown out and grounded out 2 at-bats. So we'll see what happens here as the Ports infield going to play at double play depth. The outfield on a slight shift. Robnett shading a little bit towards right center, not as much as he was last night. Here is the stretch and the pitch on the way, and there's a swing and a chop foul right off the foot of Collins, and the count is 0-1 on the Quakes catcher. Well, make sure you stay tuned for the post-game wrap-up. Of course, we'll have our Solstice Mortgage player of the game, as always. I had to give it to someone right now. Obviously, it'd be Ryan Ford, as he is pitching as well as could be expected. And back in the stretch, looking on to get the signs. Leading off the bag at first is Rodriguez. There's a pickoff throw back to first and almost got him. He had to curtail his pickoff move a little bit there, as again he was called for a balk earlier on in the ball game, but still a very effective move to the bag at first. There's Collins again digging in. And he's batting .349 with runners on base this year. All 3 of his home runs have been with runners on. From the belt, here's an 0-1 pitch. And the breaking ball misses inside, and the count even at a ball and a strike apiece. Well, for the Stockton Ports, it's just amazing. We talked about their road stats as opposed to their home stats. Really kind of tough to figure out. Well, the Ports do so well on the road, yet so subpar at home, especially when we work in the hitter-friendly confines of Banner Island Ballpark, as that pitch misses outside. 2-1 the count. Coming into the game tonight, Stockton Ports with a road team batting average of .279, which is much, much higher than their home batting average of .240. And again, playing in a hitter-friendly ballpark like Banner Island, that is a bit surprising. So is the pitching, as the ERA is actually a little better at home in a hitter-friendly ballpark than it is on the road. It's .433 team ERA and a 4.60 ERA on the road in the California League, as that pickoff attempt back to first. Not in time, as Rodriguez back in there safely. For Rancho, numbers pretty similar. both at the home and on the road as well. They've been pretty much consistent. Pitching has been good, and that's been kind of their trademark this season. Here's the stretch in the 2-1. That one misses outside. 3 balls and a strike to count. As we take a look a little bit further here into the stats, right now Rancho Cucamonga ranked 4th in the league in pitching with a team ERA at 3.76. And they're ranked 6th in the league in batting at a mark of 275. So they've been middle of the pack in both stats and very consistent as well. And still, again, very much in the thick of things as they are just in 3rd place, 4 games out of first at 24 and 23. But again, the Cal League South much different than the North. In the North, of course, the Giants kind of running away with it right now. Ports and Modesto Nuts still hanging on with a glimmer of hope. Here's the 3-1 pitch. There's a swing and a high pop-up. Slicing foul down the first base side. A collection of Ports racing over there, but again, they will run out of real estate. And it's a count full of 3 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the Quakes with just 3 hits on the night. But one of those 3 hits, a solo shot from Rodriguez. And again, still 1-0 your score. The lone base runner at first right now is that shortstop, Rodriguez. Here's Ford in the stretch, looking in. The incoming set at the belt. Here's a pickoff throw again back to the bag. At first, not the A move there for Ford. But again, Rodriguez back in there safely. Collins still very patient with this 3-2 count, and we'll see if he gets a good pitch to hit or if Ford can put him away. It's, again, very effective with the curveball tonight, especially on the outside corner, and that's where catcher's setting up. There's a pickoff attempt back to first, and sliding back in there safely is Rodriguez, and again, used the B move and then came back with the A move with a pickoff attempt down to first. It almost got Rodriguez leaning towards second. And again, Collins digging back in, still waiting here for that 3-2 payoff pitch. As Ford shaking off the signs from the catcher. Now gets 20 lines set at the belt. Here's the payoff pitch. Here's a swing and a line drive base hit to right field. Stopping at second base will be Rodriguez. That'll put runners at first and second with 1 down. And brings up the left fielder, Pat Riley. Riley is 0 for 2. He has flown out and grounded out in 2 at-bats. Long at bat there for Collins, waited for a good payoff pitch in the outside corner and knew exactly what to do with it going the opposite way. Now time is called as the pitching coach, Scott Emerson, out there to have some words with him. And as he does that, we'll take this time to thank some sponsors that have made this Stockton Ports broadcast possible. Of course, this broadcast brought to you in part by Best Western. For 60 years, you've included Best Western in your family's summer vacation. We ought to say thanks to Best Western Hotels of California are offering you a limited edition $50 Best Western travel card and up to 20% off your stays with our baseball fan rate. Experience the best summer ever with the Best Western Hotels of California. For more information, visit bestwesternbaseball.com or call 866-743-8738. That's Best Western, proud sponsors of the Stockton Ports and the California League here in 2006. Of course, going from Lancaster here to Rancho, went from one Best Western hotel to another. I absolutely love those new mattresses that they've been using, the real thick ones with the memory foam. Makes it tough to get up in the morning. Stay there all day. Unless, of course, you're coming to watch a great game like we're watching here tonight. Again, 1-0 Quakes. First pitch to Pat Riley is fouled back third base side. And out of play as the count is 0-1. Then 2-1 down. Rodriguez at second with Collins at first. Bottom half the 6th inning. Game 1 of this 3-game series, and the Quakes still claimed a 1-0 lead. Last time Ford had a 2-on-1 out, Jan was in the 2nd inning, and he was able to pitch out of it after Johnson struck out and Fuller grounded out. From the belt, here's the 0-1. And tries the outside corner, and misses a bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Pat Riley. Both base runners with very conservative leads off the bag. Here's the 1-1. The curveball let that one up and in. And the count 2 balls and a strike now to Riley. There is some activity now in the bullpen for Stockton. A couple of guys up and stretching. Nobody's throwing just yet, though. Should be some fresh arms in the pen. Again, Heath Castle, he's been loosening up for a few nights, and he's coming for a couple of situational lefty moments. There's a swing at a high fly ball. That one's slicing foul. Third base side racing over there. Leslie, a sliding effort on the warning track there, and he just could not make the grab as he lost his footing. But a nice effort there for Leslie. Got to tip your cap there for the hustle. That one will bounce into the seats, however, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes to Riley. So stay alive to see another pitch. Again, still 2-2 the count. Fans starting to get into it a little bit here. Still anybody's game. You feel it's almost the Ports have been dominated offensively, but again, Ford has kept them in striking distance all night. Again, still 1-0. Doesn't feel like that right now. Here's the 2-2 swing and a miss. Good breaking ball there on the outside corner as Riley goes down swinging. That'll be out number 2. And it brings up the right fielder, Drew Toussaint, who is the owner of one of those 4 hits with a single in the second, also struck out swinging in the 4th, and now manager Todd Steverson coming out, and that might be all she wrote tonight for Ryan Ford. And I believe it is, and if it is, which now it is, they've made the signal to the bullpen. Unfortunate that he is not going to be able to win this ballgame because he has pitched brilliantly tonight. Again, a sprint call to the bullpen as we'll take a real quick 60-second breather. When we come back, all the information on the new Ports pitcher right after this. A sprint call to the bullpen on 1420 KSTN.
Have you ever thought about becoming a foster parent and improving the life of a child in need? This is Landon Powell of the Stockton Ports. For more than 40 years, Agape Village's foster family agency has been committed to healing hearts and building families. But they cannot do it alone. Find out how you can become a foster parent by calling Agape Villages at 1-800-566-2225. The Stockton Ports, Butler Construction, and New York Life encourage you to make a difference in the life of a child.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out for $1.
The Stockton Ports season is in full swing, so hurry to your local Sprint store and pick up a fantastic Dollar Sunday coupon. Take the whole family out to the ball game for only $1 each and catch all the action from Sprint Home Run Hill. Get your fantastic Dollar Sunday coupon and the best wireless phones and service. Only at Sprint, proud sponsor of the Stockton Ports.
Buy me some peanuts and a cell phone. I love to see the Ports play at home and
The Army National Guard.
My name is Cheryl Hatcher. I joined the National Guard because of September 11th. I wanted to make the difference in the world. The Guard is a huge help to the community. It's amazing just the support that we give to the community and that the community gives to us. If you were someone coming to me saying, I want to join the Guard, I would absolutely say that it's really one of the best decisions. We're going to give you your education. There's no way of saying, I can't afford it. Hear the story about how the Guard changed my life at 1-800-GO-GUARD.com.
Sponsored by the California National Guard. Heard by the California Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of the 2006 Stockton Ports with Bo Fulgenetti and Zach Beruti on 1420 KSTN.
All right, we're back here on a Sprint call to the bullpen. Of course, brought to you as always by Sprint, proud sponsors of Sprint $1 Sundays. We're out on the Sprint Home Run Hill at Van Riley Ballpark. You can go to any of your 5 Sprint locations in the greater Stockton area and purchase a voucher for $1 ticket, good for any Sunday home game, to sit out on the Home Run Hill and enjoy some great Stockton Ports baseball. Again, that's Sprint, proud sponsors of your 2006 Stockton Ports. New pitcher on the mound is the right-hander Randy Rapp, and again, Rapp, now it's just his 3rd game of the season for the Ports. Comes in, no wins, no losses, and ERA even at 3. In 3 full innings, he's given up just 1 earned run on 3 hits. He has struck out a total of 2 batters, walked 4, batters batting .233 against him, and really just kind of getting a better feel for Randy Rapp here. I haven't seen too much of him since the free agent signing back on the 17th of May, but he comes in here with pretty big situation, 2 on, 2 out. Bottom half of the 6th, again, protecting a 1-0 lead are the Quakes, and they're trying to add to it right here. There's a breaking ball with a called strike in the outside corner, and the count is 0-1 to Drew Toussaint, who is 1 for 2 with a single in the 2nd, and struck out swinging in the 4th. Ports trying to keep it in striking distance as Ryan Ford leaves after 5 2/3. There's a swing and a shot right at the left fielder Perez there to make the catch. as he will put it away, and that will end the sixth inning. So a good job there by Rapp to induce the fly out for Tucson and end the inning here in the sixth. For the Quakes, nothing doing after the hit by pitch in the single. They get no runs, one hit, no errors, and two left. We are through six as we now shift gears to the seventh. Got a pretty good ball game here in the series opener, folks. 1-0, Quakes on top of the Ports. And we're back in just a few moments for the seventh here on 1420 KSTN.
Have you ever thought about becoming a foster parent and improving the life of a child in need? This is Landon Powell of Stockton Ports. For more than 40 years, Agape Village's foster family agency has been committed to healing hearts and building families. But they cannot do it alone. Find out how you can become a foster parent by calling Agape Villages at 1-800-566-2225. The Stockton Ports, Butler Construction, and New York Life encourage you to make a difference in the life of a child.
To be a good base runner in baseball, you have to be aggressive. If you're looking for quality concrete services, you have to be aggressive too. So call the pros at Aggressive Concrete Cutting. They're a cut above the rest. Aggressive Concrete specializes in slab sawing, core drilling, demolition, and grinding. Aggressive Concrete Cutting is locally owned and operated with 26 years of experience. They pride themselves on integrity and character. Give them a call at 824-0718. That's Aggressive Concrete Cutting. They're a cut above the rest.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of the 2006 Stockton Ports, only on 1420 KSTN.
All right, we're back as we now head to the top half of the seventh inning. It's 1-0 your score. And it's the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes on top of the Stockton Ports. Again, tonight the story so far has been the pitching. Great night for Ryan Ford. He will leave after 5 2/3. Giving up just that one earned run on 4 hits. But he's been overshadowed tonight by the starter for the Quakes, Jose Arredondo, as Arredondo has not given up a run, a hit, or an error right now. As here in the seventh inning, it will be 1-2-3, Luke Appert, Cliff Pennington, and Richie Robnett. Again, the line score, if you're just joining us here on 1420, for the Quakes, 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. For the Ports, no runs, no hits, and no errors. Also 8 strikeouts, which is 1 away from the season high for the right-hander, who has had 9 strikeouts 3 separate times this season, most recently back on the 5th of May against Bakersfield. So Appert now digs in from the left side against the right-hander. He has struck out swinging. He's also grounded out in the 4-3 to second baseman Nate Sutton in the fourth. And as dominating as Arredondo has been, obviously still just 1-run ball game, and anything can happen. There's a swing at a high pop-up, slicing foul down the first, or the third base side, I should say. That one bounces into the seats as the strike turns into a souvenir. And the count is 0-1 to Luke Appert. Doesn't have the attendance numbers, but again, a pretty good crowd on hand here tonight. I would venture to say probably close to 4,000, maybe a little over. No balls in, 1 strike to count here to Appert. Arredondo winds and fires an 0-1. There's a swing and a drive slicing down the left field line. In out of play, and the count is quickly 0-2. He's been late on a couple of fastballs, and again, that one was only at 88, and we've seen him dial it up to the mid-90s, so we'll see. He changes speeds again right here as Collins, the catcher, setting up. He's on the outside corner, 0-2 pitch, and a changeup at 82 miles an hour, misses outside. 1-2 the count to Luke Appert. We're in the top of the seventh, game 1 of this 3-game series. Sports trying to wind down the road trip on a high note. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Trying to fastball on the outside corner and misses, and the count even at 2-2 now. Appert, ice water in his veins, did not pull the trigger on that one. And we'll see if he gets something good hit on an even 2-2 count. In the line, the righty with the 2-2 pitch. Here's a swing at a slow roller down the first base side. Off the bag is Rimley, and he will flip over to Arredondo, covering the bag on the 3-1. And that is quickly 1 down here in the seventh. As it brings up the shortstop, Cliff Pennington. Pennington 0 for 2. He struck out swinging in the first, struck out looking in the fourth. Switch hitter again, batting from the left side tonight against the righty. Ports still looking for their first hit here in the 7th inning. Here's the wind in the pitch. There's a breaking ball, misses inside, and the count 1-0. On deck is the center fielder, Richie Robnett. Arredondo in the wind. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a swing and a line shot snagged by the first baseman, Cliff Remley, and that'll be out number 2 here in the 7th. And that had base hit written all over it, but Remley, cat-like reflexes there for out number 2. So 2 outs here in the 7th, and it brings up the aforementioned center fielder, Richie Robnett. He has rained on a few parades in this road trip. Again, with a couple of home runs, now has 7 long balls on the season. First pitch, swung on and popped up. That one's going to find the seats just beyond the third base side. And the count is 0-1 here to Richie Robnett. Arredondo winds and delivers the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball outside, misses a bit upstairs, and the count even at 1-1. Really couldn't ask for a better ball game to start a series than right here. Is again 1-0 your score. It's been all pitching, a traditional ball game, not your typical Cal League affair. There's a called strike in the inside corner, and the count 1-2. California League known for those high 12-8 scores, but not tonight. It's not so far here in the 7th with 2 outs. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Here's the wind of the 1-2 pitch. Change up, and it misses outside. Has the count even at 2-2 now to Robnett. On deck is the first baseman, Tommy Everidge, and you'd have to believe that he has a good chance of trying to break up this no-no as well. Here is the wind, the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball in the inside corner. That'll end the top of the 7th inning. Ports go in order again for the 4th straight inning. And the 5th time in the ball game as well. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. It's time to stand up and stretch here at the epicenter. Once again, 1-0 your score. It's the Quakes on top of the Ports. And we're back in just a few moments after the 7th inning stretch here on 1420 KSTN.
Don't wait any longer. Find relief today. If you suffer from headaches, neck, or back pain, go to Quality Chiropractic. Whether you've been injured in the car, at work, or on the field, Dr. Mike Arison can help you. He specializes in whiplash, laser therapy, and lumbar disc decompression therapy. Dr. Mike doesn't use drugs or surgery. He treats the cause of your pain. Go to QualityChiropractic.net or call 957-9901. Find relief from pain today at Quality Chiropractic, 5637 North Pershing Avenue in Stockton.
Get a taste of Italy when you visit Angelina's Spaghetti House Restaurant, Lounge, and Deli, 1563 East Fremont Street in Stockton. Possibly the best homemade raviolis and pastas, along with an amazing variety of dishes of the extended Angelina's menu. Dine in or take out. Lunches and dinners, 948-6609. That's 948-6609. Most credit cards accepted. Get a taste of Italy at Angelina's Spaghetti House Restaurant, Lounge, and Deli, 1563 East Fremont Street in Stockton. The finest in Italian and American cuisine.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of the 2006 Stockton Ports, only on 1420 KSTN.
We now shift gears to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Again, back here at the epicenter in Rancho, Cucamonga. Of course, this and every 7th inning stretch of the 2006 season brought to you in part by none other than Quality Chiropractic. If you suffer from headaches, neck, or back pain, call Dr. Mike Arison at 957-9901. They give you fast, effective relief and have you back to normal in no time at all. Also, make sure you come in today for a relaxing, therapeutic massage. That's Quality Chiropractic, 5637 North Pershing Avenue in Stockton. Well, it's the right-hander Randy Rapp who came in last inning in relief who will start the inning here in the last of the 7th. Ryan Ford again done after 5 2/3. 1-run, 4-hit baseball as he struck out a total of 4 in the game. But then Rapp now with the pitch on the way to Cliff Remley leads things off, and that pitch on the outside corner for a strike as the count is 0-1. It'll be bottom half of the order, 7, 8, 9, Remley, Johnson, and Fuller. As Rapp working exclusively out of the stretch, set at the letters, the 0-1 pitch. And that one misses outside as the count even at 1-1 now to Cliff Remley. Hadn't been much base runners for both sides. In fact, you count them on one hand, really. Here's the stretch and the 1-1 pitch. There's a swing and a pop-up lazy fly, and that one's still in the shortstop position and playable there for Pennington as he is there to make the catch, and he will put it away for 1 down here in the 7th. As it'll bring up the DH, Ben Johnson. Johnson has struck out and flown out at 2 at-bats. Johnson digging in from the left side, so a righty-on-lefty matchup, and again, he didn't have any good swings really against Ryan Ford, as he also did a nice job, much like Arredondo for the Quakes, in keeping the hitters off balance with changing speeds. First pitch on the way there from Rapp, misses low and outside, an 87-mile-an-hour fastball, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Ben Johnson. There's Rapp in the stretch, set out the letters, the 1-0 pitch. That one misses low and outside, quickly 2-0. We're just a few moments north of the 9 o'clock hour here in the West Coast on 1420 AM, KSTN Stockton. Glad you're sticking with us. Got a good reason to stick with us. One of the best ball games we've had so far this season. Here's the 2-0. There's a breaking ball, misses low and away. 3 balls and no strikes to count now to Johnson. Again, Ryan Ford had just 1 walk in the ball game. Gave up 4 hits and also had a hit by pitch. But other than that, he was mowing them down as he sent them down in order 2 innings in a row in the 3rd and 4th. But now Rapp trying to pick up the slack, and there's a 3-0 pitch. It misses high and outside as a 1-out walk has been issued to Johnson. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Cody Fuller, who doubled in his last at-bat in the 5th. Fuller digging in, 1 on, 1 down. Again, here in the bottom half of the 7th inning, 1-0 Quakes, and Rancho trying to add a little protection for their right-hander. Still has a no-no going through 7 innings. There's Rapp in the stretch, looking in to get the signs from Castillo. We'll see where the Ports catcher decides to set up. He's on the outside corner. There's a pickoff throw back to the bag at first. Gets past the first baseman, Tommy Everidge. And going up to second base now will be Ben Johnson. That'll be scored an E3 there on Tommy Everidge. And that will put Johnson in scoring position. And the count is quickly still waiting. Fuller waiting for the first pitch. And again, that was a pickoff throw down to first that Everidge just could not handle. And again, now Quakes trying to add to their lead. Have a man with a duck on the pond at second as he gets his lead off the bag. And back in the stretch, Randy Rapp. Coming set out the letters. Here's the pitch on the way to Fuller. And a breaking ball misses low and outside as the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Myron Leslie cheating up a little bit. Always prepared for anything down there at the hot corner. Here's the stretch and the 1-0. And a fastball misses inside. As the count is 2 balls and no strikes now to Cody Fuller. Ben Johnson, I don't know if he's quite thinking steal or not. Of course, he can get into third base. He'd be 90 feet away with 1 down, and that would present a sac fly opportunity for the Quakes. Everything counts here in a 1-run ball game. Here's the stretch, and from the letters, a 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses up and in, 3-0. On deck is the leadoff batter, the second baseman, Nate Sutton. 3 balls and no strikes to the Quakes center fielders. Rapp trying to find the plate, and the right-hander coming set. Here's a 3-0 offering on the way. And a fastball right down the chute for a called strike. Has to count 3-1. Leading off the bag at second is Ben Johnson. And here's the stretch from the letters. 3-1 pitch. Taking all the way. Now they said it was a strike as the count running full now at 3-2. Cody Fuller was sure that was ball 4 as he started trucking down the first baseline. He got about 3 steps down the line and realized that was a called strike, says the home plate umpire. And the count running full now at 3-2 to Cody Fuller. So Randy Rapp will live to see another pitch in this at-bat right here, and we'll see if he takes advantage and can put Fuller away. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 1 on, 1 down. Bottom half of the 7th inning. Quakes on top, 1-0. Here's the stretch and the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Pull it right past him on the outside corners. That'll be out number 2 and strikeout number 1 for the right-hander. That's huge there for Rapp and for the Ports. With 2 outs, now the outfielders can play back. And as time is called, Todd Steverson, I believe, has gotten what he wants to get tonight out of Randy Rapp. That'll be another sprint call to the bullpen as they take another quick 60-second breath when we come back. All the information on the new Ports pitcher right after this. Again, with 2 outs, 1 on, bottom half of the 7th. Quakes up 1-0. A sprint call to the bullpen. Back in just a few moments here on 1420 KSTN.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out for $1.
The Stockton Ports season is in full swing, so hurry to your local Sprint store and pick up a fantastic Dollar Sunday coupon. Take the whole family out to the ball game for only $1 each and catch all the action from Sprint Home Run Hill. Get your fantastic Dollar Sunday coupon and the best wireless phones in service. Only at Sprint, proud sponsor of the Stockton Ports.
Buy me some peanuts and a cell phone. I love to see the Ports play at home.
The Army National Guard.
I'm Lisa Mendez. Being in the National Guard and having a community to protect is a great feeling. There's actually 2 reasons that I joined. One is because the great benefits. Then I also joined because of my family. I'm defending my country. They will teach you to be a stronger person, and that's one reason I joined. Hear the story about how the National Guard has changed my life at 1-800-GO-GUARD.com.
Sponsored by the California National Guard. Aired by the California Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Ports with Bo Fulgenetti and Zach Rudy on 1420 KSTN.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Another sprint call to the bullpen here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Again, 1-0 your score, and it's the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes on top of the Stockton Ports. 1 on, 2 outs, and the new pitcher on the mound here for the Stockton Ports, none other than the left-hander Trent Peterson. Talk about the stats on Peterson in just a second. As Nate Sutton to lead things off. And again, Sutton tonight is grounded out twice, once to the second baseman Gregorio Petit, also to the first baseman Tommy Everidge. And the stats after this first pitch from Trent Peterson to Nate Sutton as the left-hander looks in to get the sign to the catcher Castillo. Now comes set. And at the letters, first pitch on the way. Breaking ball, there's a swing and a line drive. Base hit to right center field. Rounding third and coming in to score easily will be Ben Johnson. They throw all the way back to first as they try to get Sutton sleeping, but he gets back in there safely. And the RBI single gives the Quakes a 2-0 lead here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Sutton again ropes it to right center, and RBI single. Johnson scores, and they have doubled their lead now. We have not seen much offense here tonight, but Rancho adding to their lead and counting here in the 7th as it brings up the 2-hole hitter. The third baseman, Ryan Leahy, who was 0 for 3, has flown out and struck out twice. Well, the stats on Peterson coming into the ballgame. No wins, 3 losses, and a 8.23 ERA now in his 14th appearance of the season. First pitch on the way is a fastball. And it misses on the outside corner. 1 ball and no strikes. In 25 full innings, Peterson's given up 23 earned runs on 39 hits while striking out 19, walking 13. Batters batting A balmy 361 against them this season. As that one misses outside, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes now to Ryan Leahy. Sutton, the lone base runner at first. Again, there are 2 outs, but Quakes adding to their 2-0 lead. Here's the stretch. And the 2-0 pitch. Swung on, popped up, slicing foul first base side, and that'll be out of play. And the count 2-1 now to Leahy. Rancho scored in the first inning if you didn't have a chance to tune in after the solo home run from Sean Rodriguez. And they have not scored from the first inning again here till the 7th after Johnson with the walk, advancing on the E3 from Tommy Everidge and scoring on the single from Sutton. Base runner going. There's the throw to first. Then Everidge fires to second. A tag applied by Pennington. Out at second base is Nate Sutton. Nice execution there by the Ports. And that'll be a 1-3-6 as Sutton is retired, and then I'll end the inning here in the 7th. But the Quakes do add a run as they score 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and none left. But we are through 7, and we head to 8. Ports in desperate need of some offense right now. They are down 2-0 and yet to get their first hit tonight. Maybe they will in 60 seconds. We're back in just a few moments here on 1420 KSTN.
Hey fans, this Memorial Day weekend, plan a getaway right in your own backyard. Come visit Mickey Grove Regional Park and Zoo. Mickey Grove features something for everyone, like Mickey Grove Zoo, Funtown at Mickey Grove Amusement Park, County Historical Museum, Japanese Gardens, rental facilities, and much more. Log on to mgzoo.com and sanjoaquinhistory.org for upcoming events or more information. Mickey Grove Regional Park and Zoo, located in Lodi on North Mickey Grove Road.
Charterway Tow, a towing company serving the area with friendly, fair, and prompt response. Charterway Tow, the company to know when you need a tow. Use Charterway Tow for your cars, trucks, and RVs 24 hours a day. Your friends at Charterway Tow are experts in all phases of towing and recovery, anytime, anywhere. From lockouts and jump starts to your most demanding towing needs, call 209-948-8500. That's Charterway Tow, located in Stockton at 1234 South Aurora Street.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of the 2006 Stockton Force. Only on 1420 KSDS.
We head to the 8th. 2-0. Quakes on top of the Stockton Force. And the story and the big question mark right now is, can he do it? As the right-hander Jose Arredondo again with a no-hitter now coming into the 8th inning, and I feel comfortable talking about it because not a jinx to us. We hope that he does lose the no-no and the Ports get on the scoreboard here. As for Stockton here in the 8th, it'll be 4, 5, 6, Tommy Everidge, Myron Leslie, and Haas Pratt. Again, line score in the game for Rancho, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. For the Stockton Ports, no runs, no hits, and 1 error in the field as Everidge digs in. First pitch on the way. There's a swing and a drive to deep left center field. Back to the warning track, back to the wall. And that one is off the wall. Everidge rounding second, and he'll head back to the bag with a stand-up double to start the 8th. First hit of the ball game for Stockton. And a nice round of applause for Jose Arredondo, who again takes his no-hitter here into the 8th inning. But first hit tonight for Stockton, and that was not a cheapie, that's for sure. That did not miss, being a home run by much. And Everidge now breaks up the no-no as Leslie digs in. He is 0 for 2. He has struck out and flown out in 2 at-bats. Arredondo in the stretch. Looking in to get the signs from Collins. And coming stretches above the letters. There's a pickoff throw that goes into right center field, and Everidge not going anywhere. He'll stop at the bag at second. And again, Ports with their first hit and their first base runner in scoring position. The only base runners of the night they've had before that double from Everidge was Everidge again in the second, who was hit by a pitch. And then the walk to Petit in the third. But now Everidge with the double is in scoring position with no outs here in the 8th as the Ports trail 2-0, and Leslie digging in, still waiting for the first pitch. Switch hitter batting from the left side. Here's the stretch, and from the letters, pitch on the way. And it is a breaking ball. They call him strike in the inside corner as the count is 0-1 to Myron Leslie. A great time to see some of that power from Leslie that we saw in the series against the Jethawks. He represents the tying run. Here's the 0-1. Swinging a slow roller down the first baseline, picked up by Remley. He'll flip over to the pitcher, Arredondo, covering the bag. And on the 3-1, that'll be one down here in the 8th. Moving from second down to third is Everidge. And with one on, one down, brings up the DH, Haas Pratt. Pratt hit it right on the button in the second, but right at the third baseman, Ryan Leahy, made a double play, doubling off Everidge, who was at first base in that inning. Then he struck out looking in the 5th. And here's the stretch from Arredondo. Pitch on the way is a breaking ball. And a called strike in the outside corners. The count is 0-1 to Haas Pratt. So Everidge 90 feet away. Scoring the first run of the ball game for Stockton. There's a swing and a high drive, left center field. We'll see if this will be deep enough to score the run. Catch made by the center fielder, Cody Fuller. And he fires it in a bit offline. Coming in to score is Tommy Everidge. So a successful sac fly with an RBI for Haas Pratt. And Everidge scores to put the Stockton Ports on the scoreboard as they now trail by a score of 2-1. Nicely done there for Pratt, going up to the plate knowing full well had to get it up in the air and get the Ports their first chance to really bring a run home tonight, and does. So a sac fly and an RBI well-deserved for him. And 2 outs and the base is clear now as that brings up the second baseman, Gregorio Petit, who has walked and flown out in 2 plate appearances and 1 official at-bat. As a first pitch breaking ball in the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Gregorio Petit. Here's the wind of the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and fought off foul first base side as that'll bounce into the seats. And the count is quickly 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on, 2 outs. Again, top half of the 8th inning, Ports have brought a run across to break up the no-hitter and the shutout and still trail 2-1. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Just misses there on the outside corner, and Petit lucky there as he'll get a chance to see another pitch now at 1-2. Arredondo, I know, would like to finish this inning strong. Here's the 1-2. There's a breaking ball, misses outside, 2-2. Again, he has tied his season high with 9 strikeouts, which he has already done 3 times. So this is the 4th time this season that he has had 9 strikeouts. Still 2-2 the count. Here's the wind and the 2-2 pitch. Here's a swing and a line shot up the middle, taking on a tough hop there from Sutton, but recovers, steadies, fires, got him. And that will retire the side here in the 8th. Well, for Stockton, they do get a hit and they do get a run. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, none left. As we now head to the last of the 8th here in Game 1. Quakes still hanging tough with a 2-1 lead, and we're back in just a few moments for the last of the 8th here on 1420 KSTN.
Before you know it, I'll be on the go, hitting the road, camping, biking, 4x4. But before I head out, I'm going to head in to Les Schwab for free tire, battery, and brake checks. If I need anything, they got some great deals during Adventure Days. Sale prices on my favorite tires and wheels, plus a chance to win. What more could a guy ask for?
Save, scratch, and win. Enter to win one of 39 Polaris Sportsman ATVs, compliments of your local Polaris dealer and your Les Schwab Tire Centers. Adventure Days at the Les Schwab site.
Imagine that. You could be the winner of a Polaris Sportsman 500 ATV. And, of course, when you shop Les Schwab, you're always a winner, starting the moment you drive in. That come-running, eager-to-please service. In tires and custom wheels, choose from the West's largest selection. Warranty in writing. Honored at over 400 locations. For added performance, ask about siping. Need credit? Just ask. Learn more at LesSchwab.com. Save, scratch, and win. Adventure Days now at Les Schwab.
Officer Adrian Quintero from the California High Patrol would like to remind you, please slow down, allow yourself some time to arrive to your destination, buckle up for your safety, and please don't drink and drive this Memorial Day weekend. On behalf of the California High Patrol and KSTN, enjoy your holiday weekend. Thank you.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Ports with Bo Fulgenetti and Zach Beirudi on 1420 KSTN.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back as we now head to the bottom half of the 8th inning, live from the epicenter. 2-1 your score. The Rancho Cucamonga Quakes on top of the Stockton Forts. New inning, new pitcher on the mound. In fact, it's the fourth pitcher of the night for the Stockton Forts, and it's the right-hander Joel Posey. Posey coming in with a win-loss record of 0-1 and an ERA of 4.50, now in his third appearance of the season. Does have one start, 2 in relief now. In 4 full innings, he's given up 2 earned runs on 5 hits while striking out 4, walking 3, and batters batting .294 against him this season. So he will face here in the 8th. It will be 2, 3, 4, Ryan Leahy, Sean Rodriguez, and Michael Collins. Line score a little bit different now for Rancho. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Stockton Forts. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 error. And there's the wind as Posey with the first pitch on the way. There's a swing and a bouncing ball deep in the hole short. A diving effort there for Pennington. It slides right underneath his glove for a single to start the 8th. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Sean Rodriguez. With a solo home run in the first, a ground out in the third, and hit by a pitch in the 6th. And again, his home run was the big difference maker. And it really got the Quakes going on the scoreboard in the first, and that's what has held them over until the 7th when they scored their second run after the RBI single from Sutton knocked in Ben Johnson. Again, Ryan Ford started this game with 5 2/3, giving up just the 1 earned run. And it was Rat Peterson and now Joel Posey. That pitch misses inside, and the count 1 ball and no strikes to Sean Rodriguez. And there's Posey looking in. Right-hander shaking off the signs. Now gets one he likes set at the belt. Here's a pickoff throw back to the bag at first. And again, it's Leahy who gets back in there safely. Quakes have certainly scattered their 6 hits. In fact, they have not gotten more than 1 hit in any single inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Showing bunt, pulls back on a fastball upstairs. He appealed to the umpire down the first baseline to see if he pulled back in time, and in fact he did. And that's the count 2-0 now to Sean Rodriguez. Posey in the stretch, set at the belt, the 2-0 pitch. There's a swing and a chop foul right off his foot, and he is down on one knee in quite a bit of pain as well. And here comes the trainer for the Quakes, and we've seen that a few times. Seen batters go in the DL for that type of thing. And he took a wicked chop foul right off, I believe, the right foot, which is what he's holding right now, but the trainer out there, and he seems to be okay. He was down in one knee writhing in pain, but I think he's going to fight this one out. And, in fact, he'll stay in as the trainer heads back to the dugout. Again, Leahy at first. Nobody out. 2 balls and a strike to count to Rodriguez. Bottom half of the 8th inning, if you're just joining us, and this pitcher's duel is in favor of Rancho right now at 2-1. Well, he did have the final attendance number come in tonight. We got 3,512 at the Epicenter. Pretty good crowd for Game 1 in this 3-game series. Here's the stretch and the 2-1 pitch. And the breaking ball misses inside, 3-1. And Joel Posey now stepping off the mound. Stepping out of the box, Rodriguez, as he's just calling for more time, is very gingerly stepping back into the batter's box. Again, still 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Leahy with a pretty small lead off the bag at first. His front foot is just beyond the cutout. Here's the pickoff throw back to the bag at first, and sliding back in there safely now is Leahy. Coming into this ballgame, Ryan Leahy with no stolen bases in 3 attempts. He's been caught all 3 times. And Posey is really taking his time up there from the belt. Here's the 3-1. Base runner going. And doesn't matter as that one misses inside, and a walk has been issued to Rodriguez. That'll put 2-0 with no outs to start the 8th. And it brings up the catcher, Michael Collins, who has flown out, grounded out, and singled. Collins now digs in. Quakes with just a 2-1 lead, trying to add some insurance here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. And the Forts would love a ground ball right here. I'm sure the infielders will be playing a double play depth. Outfielders will be playing shallow, which is exactly the alignment they are in. Aaron Leslie playing up a bit, showing bunt. There's a bunt down the third baseline. Charging hard is Leslie's going to have to hurry, and he got him by a frog hair at first. But a successful sacrifice bunt there as Leahy now down at third with Rodriguez at second. And the sac bunt is successful there for Collins. He's now 2 in scoring position with 1 down. As that'll bring up the left fielder, Pat Riley. He was flown out, grounded out, and struck out tonight. He is 0 for 3. And Leslie, typically when he anticipates a bunt, you'll see him set up about 2 steps in front of that cutout. And he was playing up, but not quite that far, and really had to charge hard and barehand the bunt attempt there to even get the out at first, and that's exactly what he did. Now it looks like they're going to intentionally walk Pat Riley to load up the bases and get a righty and righty matchup against the right fielder, Drew Toussaint. And obviously fans not happy with the decision there, but very strategic move here for Steverson, who has done a nice job with strategy late in the ball games on the road trip. In fact, a couple things worked out well for us against the Jethawks when he brought in a couple of situational pitchers. And Pete Castle, again, a starter in the Yankees farm system, now a situational lefty here with the A's farm system. And he's come into several ball games just to pitch to certain batters and he's done a nice job. But right here, bases loaded, 1 down. They opt to go with the righty on righty. So Drew Toussaint digs in. And again, Toussaint is 1 for 3, singled in the second, struck out in the 4th, and flew out in the 6th. So they got the bases juiced with 1 down. Here's the stretch from the belt. First pitch from Posey. Big curveball right there. That one just misses on the inside corner as the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Toussaint. Hoping for a ground ball right here. Again, his outfielders are playing straight away, but very shallow. Infielders playing back. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, fouled back over the screen. And bounces into the seats. And it's the count even at 1-1. At third base, Leahy. At second, Rodriguez. At first is Pat Riley. Again, 1 down. Last of the 8th inning. Quakes on top, 2-1. Trying to add to their lead right here. Stretch from Posey, the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball and a nice one. A little slider there from the right-hander. That one is swung on and missed. And the count 1-2 to Drew Toussaint. That one coming in at 69 miles an hour. And he could not stay behind that pitch as he was well ahead. Was Toussaint. And we'll see if Posey comes back with something off speed or maybe speeds things up to keep him off balance. From the belt, here's the 1-2 pitch from the right-hander. And the breaking ball, and that one just misses inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Toussaint. Obviously nowhere to put him, so he's got to go right after him at some point in the at-bat here. Toussaint waiting for something good to hit, but Posey trying to paint those corners. From the belt, right-hander looking at third. Now the 2-2. Slider swing and a miss. He struck him out. Dropped right off the table on the outside corner. Comes at a perfect time. That'll be out number 2. And certainly it makes Steverson look smart in that decision right there, as they wanted to walk Riley to get to Toussaint, and that slider was nasty from Posey. So, second strikeout of the game for the right-hander. And with 2 outs and the base is still loaded, that will bring up to the plate the first baseman, Cliff Remley. Remley's been a bit of a sleeping giant here tonight. He walked in the 2nd, grounded out in the 5th, and flew out in the 7th. But he has been white hot at the plate in the past few games. There's a backdoor breaking ball and a called strike in the outside corner as the count is 0-1. We talked about Cliff, again, 1 for 3 last night, but he has batted .469. It's 15 of his last 32 at-bats with 5 multi-hit games over that streak. Do not need for him to get hot with this bases-loaded situation. Here's the stretch of the 0-1. And on the outside corner with a changeup, and that one doesn't miss by much, but the count even at 1-1 now to Cliff Remley. Posey again looking in from the belt. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. He's been nasty with that slider. Going low and away to the right-handers and coming hard and in to the left-handers. Posey ahead of the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, bases loaded, 2 outs. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Ports trailing 2-1. Trying to keep the damage to a minimum, keeping it in striking distance. Posey set at the belt. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Remley. Here's a swing and a line drive, base hit to center field. That'll score at least 1, probably 2. Here comes the throw. It will be cut off. And a 2 RBI, 2-out single for Remley as the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes now have taken a 4-1 lead here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. He had a feeling just coming into this game it was just a matter of time that they woke the sleeping giant as Remley continues his hot pace. Big 2 RBI, 2-out single. And again, a 3-run lead now for the Quakes at 4-1. Leahy scores. Sean Rodriguez scores from second. Moving up into scoring position at second base now is Pat Riley. So still first and second, 2 outs. And it brings up the DH Ben Johnson, who has struck out, flown out, walked and scored in the 7th. Posey in the stretch. First pitch on the way. Fastball misses outside. And the count 1 ball and no strikes. 7th hit of the ball game for Rancho. Probably the biggest hit of the game so far as well. And here's the stretch. From the belt, the 1-0 pitch. And the breaking ball with a called strike in the outside corner and the count. Even at 1-1. So many times in this road trip, and we think back to last night when the Ports were 1 strike away from sweeping the Jethawks. Well, Posey 1 strike away from retiring the side with the bases loaded. Here's the 1-1. That one misses outside. Base runner's going. There's the throw down to third and out at third base on the double steal there is Pat Riley. A picture-perfect throw from Castillo. A great tag from Leslie, and that will retire the side here in the 8th inning. But the Quakes do add some insurance if they score 2 runs, and they do so on 2 hits, no errors, and after the double steal, just 1 left on base. We are now through 8 as we head to the 9th. It's do or die time for the Ports. They're trailing 4-1. Can they come back? Well, stay tuned as the play-by-play story unfolds. Back in just a few moments for the final frame here on 1420 KSTN.
An advantage in sports is playing in front of the hometown crowd. The next time you're looking to buy or sell a home, you can get that same home team advantage. Just call Coldwell Banker Groupie Real Estate. As a local company, nobody knows the area better than we do. Whether it's residential or investment properties, put our experience to work for you.
Find Coldwell Banker Groupie Real Estate in the Yellow Pages and online at cbgroupie.com. Coldwell Banker Groupie Real Estate, the best addresses in town for over 30 years.
Who says concrete has to be boring?
Not us. We're Creative Services, and we believe concrete has unlimited potential. We specialize in artistic residential and commercial concrete, including concrete staining and stamping. In fact, we can custom build or restore just about any piece you need, no matter how large or small. For service throughout the area and the quality you deserve, call and see what we can do. We're Creative Services. You can reach us at 209-943-2960. That's Creative Services at 209-943-2960.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Ports with Bo Fulgenetti and Zach Beirudi on 1420 KSTN.
On top of the 9th inning, back here at the epicenter of Rancho Cucamonga, it's 4-1 Quakes on top of the Stockton Ports. And the right-hander in to try to close things out for the game-1 victory for the Quakes will be the righty Kevin Jepsen. And we'll talk about the stats on Jepsen in just a moment. As for the Stockton Ports here in the top of the 9th inning, it will be 8-9-1. Luis Perez, David Castillo, and Luke Appert. And again, taking a look at the stats here on the closer. Jepsen, he comes in with a win-loss record on the season of 0-1, an ERA of 4.02. Now in his 16th appearance of the season, does have 5 saves. In 15 2/3 innings of work, he's given up 7 earned runs on 16 hits, striking out 20, walking 11, batters batting .267 against him. So again, 8-9-1 for the Stockton Ports, who will try to keep things alive, trailing 4-1. Here's Luis Perez to lead things off as 0 for 2. He has flown out twice. into at bats. Here's the first pitch and a fastball with a called strike at the inside corner as the count is 0-1. Well, Arredondo will leave after 8 full innings with a season-high 9 strikeouts, giving up just 1 earned run. That's the 4th time this season he's had 9 Ks. There's a swing and a high chopper to the right side of the infield. That was a tough play there for Sutton. And safe at first, Perez, and they're going to score that an infield single there for Luis Perez in the old Baltimore shop, as Sutton had a real tough time getting to that one behind the mound and tried to backhand it. But again, an infield single for Perez to start the 9th, and that'll bring up the catcher in the 9-hole, David Castillo. Believe it or not, that is just the 2nd hit of the ball game for the Stockton Ports. But it's a good way to start the inning as Castillo digs in. He is 0 for 2, has struck out and flown out in 2 at-bats. Again, if you're joining us late, the starter, Arredondo, he toted a no-hitter into the 8th inning before Everidge doubled and eventually scored. Here's the pitch. Swung on, popped up, slicing, foul down the first base side. And it'll find its way into the seats and out of play, and the count is 0-1 to David Castillo. And we're about 15 minutes shy of the 10 o'clock hour here on the West Coast on 1420 AM KSTN Stockton. Game was zooming right along, and then a lot of tight situations. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and a fastball misses high as the count, even at 1-1. Then, of course, we had that 5-minute break in the action if you're joining us late from a very interesting test run they had here for the famous NBC show, The Apprentice. They had some test show out here for a new energy drink that they've been wanting to promote as time is called. Castillo stepping out of the batter's box. Line score here, if you're just joining us, for the Quakes, 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors. For the Ports, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error. Unfortunately, Ryan Ford can lose this game. He cannot win it, and he leaves after 5 2/3 of giving up 1 earned run. That one misses outside, 2-1. Ford in those 5 2/3 gave up just 1 earned run on 4 hits, striking out 4, walking 1. But he left trailing 1-0. And again, although the Stockton Ports had put a run up on the board, they were trailing 2-0 at the time as that one is popped up over the screen, bouncing into the seats and out of play. And the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes, down to Castillo. Jepsen again looking in with the catcher Collins. Collins and the starter Arredondo, they were in a groove together tonight. That battery was mixing pitches inside outside perfectly. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball with a called strike 3 in the outside corners. That'll be out number 1 here in the 9th. First strikeout of the ball game for Jepsen, as it'll bring up the right fielder Luke Appert. Appert has struck out and grounded out twice. Appert, the hottest batter in the starting 9 coming into the ball game in the past 10 games. Cooled off a little bit here tonight, but again, we missed the Dr. Pepper pregame show. We talked about what he has been able to put together statistically speaking in the past 10 ball games. Appert batting .423. A good time for those numbers to shine right here as that pitch misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Luke Appert. Big reason for those numbers was the 4-for-4 night that he had 2 nights ago. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And he takes low and away. 2-0 the count to Appert. On deck is the shortstop, Cliff Pennington, who hit the ball right on the button, but right at Cliff Remley in the 7th, which at the time preserved what was a no-hitter. And in the stretch, set just above the letters, the 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses low. 3-0 the count. Obviously, if Appert were to reach, that would put 2 on with 1 down. And that would bring the tying run to the plate. Set at the letters again. 3-0 pitch and a fastball right down Broadway for a called strike. And the count is 3-1 now with the Stockton Ports right fielder. Pennington still patiently waiting on deck. And the right-hander with a 3-1 pitch. That one misses inside. A called strike on the inside corner. And the count running full at 3-2 now on Appert. That's Perez at first base. Slowly inching off the bag. Very conservative lead for him over there. Knows that his run is relatively insignificant. Here's the payoff pitch. And a called strike 3 on the outside corner. And Appert has a few words before he'll head back to the dugout. The always respectful Luke Appert usually does not argue, but he has a few parting words as that'll be out number 2 and strikeout number 2 for Jepsen. And that'll bring up the shortstop Pennington. Again, it was 0 for 3. Has struck out twice and flown out. Or actually lined out, I should say, as he hit a rocket right at the first baseman, Remley. And the first pitch on the way, a called strike at the outside corner as the count is 0-1 to Cliff Pennington. Ports down to their final out here in the series opener. Here's the stretch in the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses outside, 1-1 the count. Perez at first, 2 outs. Ports trailing 4-1. Jepsen with the 1-1 pitch. That one misses outside. 2 balls to the strike to count. On deck in the 3 holes, the center fielder Richie Robnett, just hoping that he'll get a chance. Obviously, he came through with that big home run in the 9th inning in Game 2 of that 3-game series against the Jethawks. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and popped up. This should be the ball game. Left center field. It's Cody Fuller over there to make the catch. He will put it away, and that'll end our dreams of a victory here in Game 1. As the Quakes hang on to win the first of 3 here at the Epicenter by a final score of 4-1. And really, this game a lot closer than maybe the score would indicate as the Quakes with a couple of late runs, but a pitcher's duel from start to finish, and the Quakes the last one standing is an excellent job. You really got to tip your cap to Arredondo. He gets the victory, and Jepsen a save there as he really bared down in the 9th inning as well. Well, I'm going to take a 90-second break. When I come back, we'll wrap things up here for Stockton Ports Post-Game Live, so make sure you stay tuned. Again, the post-game show just a few moments away here on 1420 KSDN.
Thinking of buying a home or refinancing? At Ability Mortgage, we know what it takes to meet all of your home loan needs. Whether you're a first-time buyer or you're refinancing, our creative loan consultants offer the best terms and unsurpassed professional service. We ensure you get the loan that best fits your needs. Again, fans, we're Ability Mortgage. Give us a call at 209-825-0222 or find us online at abilitymortgage.com.
Ability Mortgage, putting you first.
For good times and great food, come to the Graduate Family Restaurant and Bar in Stockton. You'll love the casual family atmosphere. There's tons of video games for the kids, internet golf, and your favorite music playing on the jukebox. And the Graduate is a great place to have a party. They have a full menu with items for every taste bud. Hot wings, burgers, awesome pizza, and even salads. So stop by for lunch or dinner. The Graduate Family Restaurant and Bar, 2207 Country Club Boulevard, just east of I-5.
Pioneer Radio and Sports would like to thank the following businesses who are committed to customer service.
This sports broadcast is brought to you in part by Blue Lagoon, Custom Pool and Spa. By the Stockton Injury Center for complete spinal care and rehabilitation. By Elaine Martinez of Keller Williams. Real estate is not my job, it's my pleasure. By David's Pizza, best pizza in town. And by Dave's Towing Service, celebrating their 25th anniversary.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Ports. Only on 1420 KSDN.
All right, folks, we're back for Stockton Ports Post-Game Live here from the press box of the Epicenter in Rancho, Cucamonga, California. And a pitcher's duel here tonight, but again, the one in the favor of the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes is they are victorious by a final score of 4-1. Ryan Ford, we'll talk about him in a moment, takes the loss, pitched well, but the story tonight has to be Jose Arredondo. Again, Arredondo missing his last start because of disciplinary reasons, coming back in full force for the Quakes, earning a spot back in the rotation as he went 8 full innings, giving up just 1 earned run, striking out 9, which is the 4th time this season he has struck out 9. walking 1. And he was absolutely fabulous, changing speeds, working both sides of the plate. He got a fastball upwards of 95 to 96 miles an hour, but he was mixing speeds up this entire ball game. The Stockton Ports really had a tough time. They were off balance the whole ball game and really didn't get a hit until the 8th inning, and that was kind of the story. Is taking a no-no into the 8th, Arredondo gave up a leadoff double to Tommy Everidge to left center field. Everidge would eventually score on the sac fly and the RBI from Haas Pratt. And that was it for the Stockton Ports offensively, as they scored 1 run on just 2 hits, the other hit being a single in the 9th inning from Luis Perez, as he was the only base runner they would have in the 9th before the game was closed out. As for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, well, they announced their presence here in the series early. In fact, third batter of the ball game, shortstop Sean Rodriguez with a solo home run. That quickly made it 1-0 off the starter Ryan Ford. And Ford, he really bared down after that. In fact, that was the only run of the game that he would give up, as he gave up the 1 earned run on 4 hits, striking out 4, walking 1 in 5 2/3 innings of work. Unfortunately, he left as the Ports were losing. He takes the loss. He drops to 2 and 4. But Ryan Ford, we'll talk about him again in a moment. Just a great performance, and too bad the Ports could not give him the offensive support that we had in the Lancaster series. But he should hold his head high when he leaves the ballpark here tonight. Again, doing a great job. Just a little bit overshadowed on a great performance from the right-hander, Jose Arredondo. Well, time to announce our Solstice Mortgage player of the game tonight. Obviously didn't do much offensively, but I'm going to give this one to Ryan Ford again, the starter, giving up just that 1 earned run, striking out 4 and walking 1 in 5 2/3, although it will show up as a loss in the column at now 4-2 on the season. He kept us in the ball game when Arredondo was really overpowering in the story of the game. So, Ryan Ford tonight, Solstice Mortgage player of the game, brought to you by Solstice Mortgage. With 2 convenient locations in Lodi and Stockton, they are your local lender, reminding you that when you're in scoring position for that new dream house, let Solstice Mortgage step up to the plate and bring you home. That's Solstice Mortgage, proud sponsors of your 2006 Stockton Ports. Well, tomorrow, we're right back at it here at the Epicenter for Game 2 of this 3-game series. On the mound tomorrow for the Stockton Ports will be the right-hander Ryan Webb, as he is activated from the disabled list. He was, of course, experiencing some back problems, but he will have an opportunity to get right back into the rotation. Again, he will be on the mound for the Stockton Ports. As for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, it will be Fernando Rodriguez. Rodriguez coming in with a win-loss record of 4-2 and an ERA of 4.56. Should be a pretty good matchup tomorrow. Once again, 7 o'clock first pitch. We'll be on the air just after 6:50 for the Dr. Pepper pregame show. So make sure that you stay tuned in for that. And we thank you for starting your weekend with us here tonight. Wish I had better news, but it was a good ball game, a pitcher's duel. It just got the short end of the stick tonight on a great performance from Arredondo. So once again, your final score for the final time here from the Epicenter in Rancho Cucamonga was the Quakes 4, the Ports 1. Of course, I want to thank all our sponsors that have made this broadcast possible, all you fans tuning in as well. I want to thank engineer Paul Shin, sports director Sean Mead, our producer, the lovely Miss V, and again, all of you who were part of the broadcast here tonight. This is Bo Fulgenetti saying, take care, have a pleasant good evening, so long, and we'll talk to you tomorrow from Rancho Cucamonga. So long, everybody.